Hey everybody, it's time for the Public Skulltalkers, round 2.
Woo! That was not as high energy as I thought it would be, but that's okay.
Well, I was caught
giving you notes immediately, like that's not gonna.
That should bring the
hurt
energy up.
morale
Yeah.
for
Hold
this.
on, I'm taking a huge sip of hot tea, and now must respond. Hey everybody, welcome to the fucking Skulltalkers, round 2. I'm here to rip out your throat, and written on your throat are your good questions. We will answer the questions for your descendants. I'm Cohen, Dungeon Master, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's what I do. And all the voices that aren't the other characters. Let's start with, to my immediate left, it's Jess.
Hello, I'm Jess. I edit the show, and I'm also Visk. And I also just moved to Finland, so this has been weird.
We got Finnish Jess.
Yeah,
Jess.
Perkele.
That's right. And now
finished.
I'm going to hold down and press B to drop down to a lower platform to Amber.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the second Public Skulltalkers. Very happy to be here. I play Felicity Fairweather.
Oh, yeah. Now I'm going to hit L1 to do a backwards dash over to Casey.
Hi, I'm Casey Green. I play Doo-Doo the Owl.
That's right, you do. And now I'm going to take out my warp whistle and return to myself. What's up? How we doing?
You just took so much video game damage.
Low energy.
Like thousands of damage.
Just moved.
You're gonna have like an overflow error. You're gonna like gain HP from how much you just took.
Yeah,
No
you're overmaxed or whatever that is on Team Fortress 2.
Mm-hmm. How we doing? Everybody's coming into this high energy. Very excited.
Bad.
Nobody's taken any long trips recently.
No.
I miss my D&D friends. Hello.
Yeah, it's been a bit. It's very nice to be here with everybody.
This is the first thing we're recording after Jess has moved to Finland.
What?
Very
Which I
excited.
did 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, almost.
Yeah.
And you're still there? What the hell?
I'm tired. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I hear they got a lot of coffee there. You should get some of it.
They do. They have a lot of. They drink the most coffee per person per capita of like anyone in the world. It's like 55 pounds a year.
You're going to have some decaf, Jess. I'm sorry.
Do they
No, you
farm
don't
Are they
get
it?
alive?
Did they
Coffee.
farm it?
No.
No, it's just all
Absolutely not.
imported. Okay,
Just
yeah.
a little
I did-
It's a
decaf.
tropical.
I
tropical
thought that,
plant,
but I thought
think.
it might be like like how Florida winters are like are the only place you can grow citrus, or oranges.
No.
I thought.
No, it's the cold brew beans grow up here.
I love
The cold
brew.
ones.
I love
Oh,
cold
that's the.
brew.
Yeah.
You're doing a
That's
joke, aren't you?
Gans. That
That's a.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You had me.
got
you had me
it.
going there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got you.
I got owned.
I lied to all my friends. I lied to them all.
we were all owned when we believed a thing that our friend told us.
Yeah. Jess, you famously enjoy these kinds of jokes, so it's nice to see you making them.
I did it.
One
I
of
said
us.
something deadpan enough that everyone got really confused for a second. I love it for some reason. This
Yeah.
brings me joy.
It feels disgustingly good. It's like in a way that shouldn't feel good.
I'm a psychopath. I sow confusion where I go.
So I stopped doing that because that used to be like my favorite kind of joke, and then Casey was one of the people who was like, "Stop doing that." It's just
I was
annoys
another one of
people.
the people.
Yeah.
I was like begging you, please stop. You're fucking with me. You don't realize you're doing it, but this is fucking with me.
Colin, you just have a way of like you always go into that. You know, you never not. Like Jeffrey, my friend Jeffrey, our friend Jeffrey, runs Topatico, skulltenders.com/ Topatico/collection/skulltenders. Go get some shirts. He has a similar thing where he can just dryly say something, but then like after a second, you're like all of us are discussing and being like, wait a minute, Jeffrey's fucking with us, and we look and he's got a little smile, like looking at us. But he doesn't do that all the time.
He
He doesn't do that all the time.
I have cut back an enormous amount. I do that very rarely these days. But
Credit where it's due. Yes.
when I went home, recently to see my family. I observed my dad doing this specific thing. I was like, oh yeah, that's the thing. All right. So anyway, all that to say, you want to get into some questions, or we want to talk about the season? What do we want to do? Did we get any questions? Oh, we got
We got a lot of questions.
Yay!
Yeah.
Best
Questions.
fans. We got the
Yeah.
best fans.
Holler.
Enough
at your
about
fans.
family. We're here to talk about our fans, and I guess the
Our,
season.
our found family,
Our
the
found
fandom.
family.
That's healthy.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah, you're all our family. Make sure you have those kinds of relationships with us in your head.
I'm
It's
getting a
fine.
call.
Make sure you send me.
I'm
Make
getting
sure
a
you
call
send me
from
money
our-
for Christmas and never talk to me.
Yeah, I
again.
was gonna
I'm
say-
getting a call from our lawyer saying that this is a bad idea.
I'm getting a call from our other lawyer, the evil one, the one who looks like the first one, but he's got a mean little mustache. He says go for it. So I guess who could say?
Hard to tell.
Where are we starting with these questions? Because we got some via email, we got some via DM, we got some via the usual little form that we have on our Discord, which you can ask us questions any dang time using that form if you join up on Patreon.
That's right.
Patreon.com.
Patreon.com/Skulltenders. This
Always
is
be
also a
closing,
pledge
anyway.
drive. It's all good. But I think this is a perfect segue into our first question on I'm going to call this one list 1 over here on the sheet. I guess you could just call it the sheet. That's
Yeah, the
easier.
sheet or the doc.
From a great big B, Obsidian and Bone. Do we have the thing?
No,
and
that thing is
loaded.
being shipped to Finland, and it's going to take like 2 months to get here on a big boat. So I don't have the
Well-
little thing that plays my stupid little shock jock clips. So we're going to have to reenact it every time.
Then everybody gets a unique one this time.
All right.
Great big B, buzz.
Locked and loaded.
Do you have any questions for us, the listeners?
Oh, that's not a question.
It is actually. It is.
I
a
mean,
question.
it is a question.
Good question.
It's a question for a question. That's fired.
I'm gonna-
Great Big B
No.
is fired.
Great big B is great. I jump in front of
I'm gonna open a
flaming
window
arrow.
and let the bee out. There's no more
I-
bees.
No, Great Big B is an asset to this company.
There's just a second cage out there. It's like an indie game.
Yeah,
Get it?
I'm catching her, they in a jar, and she's not getting away. They.
All right. Do you? Okay. Yeah. What do you think so far? You enjoyed it? That's my question for the listeners.
Yeah.
Do y'all like this?
My question is: are you telling your pals about your new favorite show, Skulltenders?
Yeah, that's
Ooh.
that's a good
Have
question.
you bought some shirts yet? Do we have some shirts?
Yeah,
and
do you know we
pins?
got shirts and pins?
Topodico.com
I would-
/collection/skulltenders shirts and
We
pins
also-
available right now.
We all spent the last 3 weeks in MLM school, so this is
Yeah, right. Jesus Christ.
I shit. I did have something, and then I lost it because we were having so much fun. Doesn't matter.
Sometimes you gotta have fun. I love when people plug a thing really hard. It's actually very funny to me. So I'm glad Casey's doing that.
Oh yeah. So I will say, like,
That's all I got on me.
on that note, like, thank you to everybody who has like made fan art for the show. Leaving reviews is a huge deal.
Oh yeah, baby.
That-
Yeah, and more
that
just have
does-
statements for the viewer, which is like, thank you. This,
Yes.
the reception has been really wonderful. The
Yeah.
fan art,
Receive me
everything.
more.
It's been really cool. It's just been real. Like,
Yeah.
it's really rewarding when you make something and have people resonate with it, because like for everything you make people do resonate with it. In your past, everybody's got like a bunch that they didn't, and it's rewarding. It's fulfilling. Thank you all
Oh,
very
yeah, yeah.
much.
And it is so. There's so much stuff out there. I would just want to say there's so many new things to listen to or to watch or to play or to read or to react to every single day. There is more stuff created than anyone could experience in their entire lifetime. So thank you for forcing your friends at gunpoint to listen to this, because I know it can be a hard sell to start a new D&D podcast. So thank you for everybody who came
Yeah,
on
very
from a friend's
appreciate it.
recommendation. Just remember to get 3 more friends to listen, and you can be all right. That's the
Yeah,
the
you
savings
get
pass
promoted
on
up
to
one
you.
rank in being our family if you
I
can
have
get
a
3 friends to listen.
I have a question and a
You
tip.
go from aunt to great aunt,
Yes, exactly.
I have a question,
which
and
means you're just
Which
better.
means when
And
the
a
ant
tip.
when the ant is really good. Yeah, that's what that
I got
means.
I got a tip for listeners. That's also
hear
a
it.
question. Did you know you can get through things quicker if you put 1.25 speed on your podcast listener? It does drive you just that much more crazy.
Yeah.
Like to listen
And-
to stuff like to listen to normal things like that much quicker just means your brain gets a little bit crazier. That's just normal. You're just going to be
This would
crazier.
make
That's normal.
my brain make noise like a computer that's overheating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
This
you'd
is
be able to
very
hear
bad
it if
for
you're in
me.
the same room.
I do
Yeah.
I
this
cannot do
sometimes.
this.
Not usually with D&D podcasts because there's a lot of brain imagery to have to do. But if I'm listening to like an informational or something, it's got to go in 1.5.
It's
1.25?
it's a
YouTube
bit of a
video,
gamble.
not change
It's a bit of a
1.25.
gamble.
It sounds too funny when I do it. I think it's like distractingly funny sounding when something's
Point-
sped up.
I
So I
like
don't
when things are
listen to
funny.
it.
0.25 is just
can't pay
enough,
attention.
but like 2 times or even worse, like that gets crazy.
So what we're talking
do
about?
that if
so
somebody
the Holocaust and
talks-
Go for like just like getting through.
No
I only do that
stopping,
if somebody
no
talks
breathing.
really like torturously slow, then I will put somebody on a increased speed because you're just wasting my time at a certain point by like really drawing out stuff. Like talk
Yeah,
faster.
Sure.
We're really playing with fire the longer we talk about this specifically. So all right.
True.
Let's-
Next question.
All right, let's just take it clockwise. Is this working, or do I need to do this?
That way to
No,
Jess.
Jess, I'm
I
pointing
think
at
it
Jess.
works.
We'll go clockwise.
Yeah, I gotta open up the little question thing, but I have it right here. It's fine. Okay. So hey, it's a great big B again. What?
Buzz,
Yeah,
buzz.
get it out of
Buzz,
here. Open
buzz,
the window.
baby.
Ah, shit.
This bee got back in here already. In the inevitable all-star actual play D&D podcast kart racing video game that the fans are clamoring for, what kind of vehicle does your character drive? What kind of course would you use to represent Skulltenders as a whole? This
So
is
y'all
such a
do
cute
vehicles.
I
question.
love this
I'll
kind
do
of
the
question.
chorus.
I just want
Yeah.
to
No,
say.
this is more my alley. Let's go.
This is cute as fuck. I love this question. Visk probably would have something with slippery handling. But I think
like a
they would
hover,
be
like a
attracted.
hovercraft.
You'd
from,
be high-
Oh, yeah,
Diddy
yeah.
Kong
You'd be
Racing.
you'd be high skill, high reward.
Yeah, control like Visk could control like Blood Falcon and F-Zero. It's like it's very fast, but when you turn it, just like it's like you're a mop. It's just you fly off.
I think they'd be like visually interested in like that Breath of the Wild, like the Master Cycle Zero, the like kind of like Guardian technology one, because it's just like fucking like a badass robot thing, like mechanical parts and stuff. But I think the universe would make it so that whatever Visk was driving would be one of the fucking silly ass ones, like the Wiggler,
No,
or
just-
Mr. Scooty, or the teddy bear.
I'm imagining is like Visk, just like on their belly, directly on the course, like you're going down a slip and slide.
There's just a
Hey.
thin veneer of like river water. On
Exactly.
It.
Yes, that's exactly what I have in mind.
You'd be in the
Yes.
Bone Rattler. You'd be in the Bone Rattler. It looks like the mayor a little bit.
Whoa, whoa!
Felicity's would be she would be on top of Julio and all his little legs would be skittering, but it's not like the full Necrona, it's like the little cube and she's like balanced on it like a cat.
I was.
No, it'd be like the little land ship.
Yes.
The land ship in Mario Kart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Or,
only.
or you
the-
would just like the Mercedes Benz. I feel like Felicity
That would
also
also work too, yes.
If you had to choose one from the existent roster.
Yeah, she's
We're
based
definitely
on
pulling-
vibes as opposed to like Skulltenders
Yeah.
canon, it would be that one.
We're definitely
Yeah.
pulling from like the only good kart racing game, Mario. Common
I said Diddy
Mario.
Kong. I said, and
Diddy Kong was pretty good, but it was just plain car or hoverboat. You know.
Wow,
It
you
didn't
don't
have-
mess with Crash Team Racing?
I would if it loaded quicker.
Whoa!
You're right though. I didn't come to a racing game
Look,
to wait around.
I have it on PS5. That shit should not load. That that takes a while to load. But going back to it, they have added a lot of cool shit to Crash Team Racing. A lot of weird extra characters and shit. So I respect that. But Christ,
I feel like Dudu's either got to be in his van or on the hedgehog cycle.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
those are
hedgehog
both-
cycle.
A hedgehog
gonna say,
cycle,
but-
I'd say at this stage, it's kind of like there's like I feel like it's like how like super long running anime will put out a fighting game for like the first chunk, and it's like and they're really having to like dredge deep
Yes.
what they get.
A lot
It's
of
like
Dragon
okay,
Ball ones like this.
yeah, it's like
Early
Goku
One
can't go
Piece
Super
games.
Saiyan. Yeah, exactly. It's like we got. I feel like Dudu at this stage would have like the cycle. Yeah, like
Well,
like
the
maybe
van has
later in the
been-
van.
the van has been brought up a little bit.
It has.
but
Yeah, and you drove it in that.
I feel
dream.
like I feel like the cycle could be like anyone could enjoy that, but we all have our specific ones too.
that's true.
Like, I could see Felicity in like a small Necrona shaped thing as we learn more about who Felicity was in their life as a pirate, maybe,
And it does have the Necrona we have seen does have like big black like spindly spider legs that come out of it sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And
that's
that's-
and yeah,
Last episode.
and so it would just be
with what's the axolotl's name again? Julia. With
Julio.
Julio. Sorry. With Julio's right at the front to help out here and there. It could even be a Julio-shaped one.
It would be facing the player, like it would be hanging, but like positioned so that the play it's look
Double dash.
Yeah, exactly,
Yay.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay, I did have a thing for the what the course would be like.
Okay.
Ghost
I'm
Town,
thinking
right?
it's like what's that? Well, it's a 2-level. It's a 2-level.
Okay.
It's like a split level course where
Ooh.
both tracks are running parallel, and it's the afterlife and the land of the living, and the afterlife would be like safer, but it wouldn't have any items or boosts, and it has a bunch of ramps up to the land of the living, which has like items and boosts and hairpin turns, but it's very easy to get knocked back down. So you're kind of having to constantly
Like a rainbow road, but with a
like it had a second rainbow road above it that that you could get items and go faster, but it was easy to get knocked down. You'd lose some speed when you get knocked down, so it's like
Yeah.
a risk reward.
That's an interesting idea. I hope
And
Nintendo
if you fall
hears
off
this.
the
Real game designer moment there.
First of all, good idea. Second
Yeah.
of all, if you fall off the bottom track, can Lakitu even like get you back?
Well, you can't fall off the bottom tracks. It's like the
Planchette.
bottom.
Okay.
You always like fall back.
Planchette gets you. Yes.
Yeah, planchette is.
She's
That's what I was
Lakitu.
thinking. Planchette, like
She just
when you
flaps
fall,
in,
if you fall
picks
off the
your ass
side, she
up.
catches you and like just picks you up by the scruff.
Nice job, stupid.
Did you
Keep going.
did you know that it's fucking not pronounced Lakitu? It's like Lakitu, and it makes me
Lakitu.
upset every time.
I do know that, but I also know that some people say Mario, and I'm just gonna say what I want at this point. I've been doing this for like
Those
20
weird New
something
Yorkers say Mario.
yeah, Rick Moranis.
Jersey people say Mario.
Mario.
Get it?
Is
I
that
right.
where
don't
Rick
say
Moranis is from?
Mario. Don't put this on me, New Yorker.
Mario.
It's a
Super
little
Mario
bit of
Brothers.
Canadian too. Mario. Maybe,
I have heard
maybe
Mario up here. It is- every
Super Mario
My
Brothers.
more evidence that my mom is autistic, by the way, has to do with the word Mario. Because I was a child, we were at a playground, and she heard another mother calling her child Mario, and she actually went up to the mother and said, "You know, you're pronouncing your child's name wrong."
That's really funny. That's such a.
I love her
You
so
literally
much.
can't be wrong about what your child is named. Like, it's like,
I love her so much.
What
That
a
was really
fucking
good.
thing to say to another human being.
You're gonna meet her at my reception. You're gonna love her. You're gonna think of that story now.
yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, my name's Mario. No, it isn't.
No, it's
Ridiculous.
You're wrong.
Imagine your mind just be like, my God. Oh, what
No,
else am
what
I
have
wrong
done?
about?
Clutching your head like the Happy Mask salesman.
No.
All right, let's roll. Let's keep it rolling. We got a lot of them.
I
I think
believe
that's Amber.
Amber.
Next.
All right, yes. The next couple come from Dayglow Tiger Shark, a permanent resident.
It's a Dayglow Tiger Shark.
Resident.
Look out! It's coming up on the beach and killing everybody.
Nailed it. So let's see. More of some general questions opposed to episode-based ones. Absolutely fine. First one's for KC. Would you rather have laser eyes or rocket skates? Keep in mind the lasers could be something other than heat lasers, although rocket skates could be a rocket skateboard, if that makes it a harder choice.
This is a very generous question. This is like this starts off very like binary. It's like no, but you
But
know,
let's
I'm
be
not-
real. Yeah.
Let's be reasonable.
Yeah.
We can
What
talk
else?
here.
Come
We can
on.
negotiate.
What else could the heat like my punching from the punch dimension? Like fucking,
Yeah, I was literally
Cyclops
thinking,
or
I guess you
bullshit?
could punch from the punch dimension like Cyclops.
That's
Yeah.
stupid. No. I absolutely take the roller skates 100%.
I agree.
Not even the skateboard, unless it's a roller
A razor
wheelie?
scooter.
Razor
Yeah.
scooter. If it's a scooter that has like some straps like that I'm not just gonna fucking fly off the handle with. Which is why I think maybe the skates would be better. I know
That makes
why
sense.
like Coyote has taught us to go against that thinking, but I would definitely between those two, roller skates. Rocket roller skates.
I think great call.
All right.
Next one's for me. Also from Dayglow Tiger Shark. Felicity have a go-to takeout order, or any preferences on furniture for her apartment seems to be scarce in Ghost Town. Felicity's takeout order is sashimi, the fanciest way to eat cat food.
Let's go.
Furniture for her apartment, if I could get like a nice Art Deco going, I'm sure she'd really like that. But good luck finding it.
That's pretty good.
And
I
we
can
got
see it.
for Visk. Here comes Jess. Is Visk someone
comes
who
me.
consider trying to change their color to camouflage better? They have to focus on changing color to match their mood as an attempt to communicate before it backfires.
If Visk were a rogue, this almost certainly would have been like a thing, like changing color to camo.
Yeah.
And like taking in like dirt and stuff to like change your color and stuff like that. Current modern neurotic sorcerer Visk, I think that would be incredibly unpleasant texturally for them to deal with. I think that would feel disgusting.
And also they can't. Like so now like Gooman can't do that. They can't change their color at will.
According to
And
you,
that-
like we just
But if
well, it's like
just
but if-
now we
yeah,
just
if Visk
now
was a
we
rogue,
learned
maybe
this.
they
The sec-
could, maybe
Well,
we could have wrote the
I
show
think-
different.
if this
Yeah.
could change their color, they wouldn't have a red stripe anymore, right? Like,
No,
it's-
like
it's
things would be very different if Visk were a rogue in general.
Yeah.
Well, we've also, we've seen some indication that Gooman color is signifying something that's been going on for a while. So in that it seems like it would be hard to also be able to change the color at will.
But if it's
Yeah,
just
I feel like that's a level of body control that I don't know that they would have
if it's just an
cognizant
illusion,
control of, especially considering that, like, we drank the thing and it's
Yeah.
permanently there and Visk can't change that. Obviously, they can't change their color now, established.
it was just an illusion, though. It could just be a simple color swap.
Color splash.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
the red would be, it would change alongside the blue. Say if it was green, then I guess red
I
and
also
gray
like,
just looked like, I don't know, purple.
Really early on, I was considering that Visk would change colors for mood stuff, or they would use like various bits and bobs that were floating around in their head to imitate like very basic expressions, smiley face style sort of, or might like absorb a animal skull to help with expressions or something like that. But it turns out that Visk is like incredibly gesticularly expressive. I don't need help expressing anything. It's fine.
That would be the kind of thing that would work really well in animation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like color, like
Yes.
having color fluctuating and like having little bits and doing like little disguises. That's the kind of thing that like really sings as something you can look at and is just happening in the background, but is hard to convey in
Yeah.
audio. It's
Yeah.
hard to
Visual
remember what your
jokes are
fucking
hard.
characters are wearing from scene to scene. It's like it's like, now remember, Visk is puce for the rest of this scene.
Fucking puce, a color nobody knows what it is.
Oh, that's puce. Is question for me?
Yeah, and the final one for Cohen is, does the mayor have a pocket square? Or your opinions on the matter of pocket square tie with how large lapels could be, relatively, before they become garish?
So real quick, so the mayor's tie is on the skinny side.
Okay.
It's a little bit thicker than like a thick belt.
Bolo?
No, it's just it's a necktie. It's a necktie.
Necktie.
It's red, and so the thing is, the mayor would not have a pocket square because you want a pocket square since it's a navy coat, you'd be going for like a yellow or a burnt orange to offset the blue. But the
He can
mayor
also
already
match it to
has the
his
red
tie.
tie. He's already got the red tie, and that's like the point of a pocket square is contrast with the color of the jacket. But generally, in that you are not going for like a note of contrast with your tie. So that would it would be like it wouldn't be red. It wouldn't want to match the tie because that's too matchy. And anything else, it starts to look a little bit too floral, like blue, red, or burnt orange.
It's a little
bit of a
whimsical
mess.
for him to have a fun pocket square.
Blue, red, white,
that
black
makes
are
sense.
the colors on the mayor.
What kind of knot does the mayor tie? He's got a skinny tie. A skinnier tie.
As a half Windsor.
Half Windsor, that's fair.
It's a
Full standby.
Yeah.
it's not too fancy, not too casual. You're just getting through the day.
Yeah, four in hand would be a little too casual. You know.
All right. Now you know.
Nice.
Oh, and
Nice,
he
folks.
wears black wingtips.
Oh.
Short wing or long wing?
Whatever's more work a day. I don't know.
Okay.
You've reached the limits of my. I ran out.
Long wing is a little fancier. Short wing, the wing part is just on the toe. Long wing is the toe and then also comes back around the back of the shoe.
Oh, long then. That sounds cool.
Okay.
All right, that one.
I'm like over here Googling. I have no idea what these fucking things are.
They're shoes.
Shoe stuff.
I know. I found
coverings.
out because I Googled it. Yeah.
There you go.
I did it.
I think it's my turn next.
Yeah.
All right, we got one from Paul, Obsidian and Bone.
Hey, Paul. Paul Bearer. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
Paul.
He's the Undertaker's friend.
Question. Question for everybody. It's
It's a
February.
very specific
I
question.
like this one. I do like
It
this
is.
one.
It's February 2011. Happy birthday, Casey. The only Borders
Me too.
and Jess. The only Borders close to you is closing in 1 month. But you just won a $100 gift card for there, and you just got paid at your 2011 job. I think I was working at Topatico at that point. Well, what would each player buy for themselves at Borders with the money you got, plus a $100 gift card? So $100 minimum. What would you get out of Borders?
2011.
2011.
I'm definitely buying some of the trade paperbacks for various comics. 2011, I'm probably buying I think I had like all of Sandman and Lucifer by then. So at that point, I'm probably trying to get Wicked and the Divine or hop on some other stuff. Sex
Yeah.
Criminals, that era, some Howard the Duck.
Oh, I did like Sex
I'm talking about
Criminals.
some Hellcat, definitely some Hellcat. That kind of stuff. At Borders. At Borders, that's what I'm getting.
Yes, of
now, if I
course.
just had a full gift card, I'm probably going on and buying some maybe I'm buying. Maybe I'm getting myself the volume 6 of Gun Show. Maybe I'm getting that in that era.
That wouldn't be at Borders.
All right. Well, that's what I'm saying. This is for not at Borders. If I just had if I wasn't at Borders, that's what I'd be getting.
Oh, it's a Borders specific question. So
Sure,
you-
but I also
Yeah,
got paid by
fake-
my
fake
job.
Borders
So
We're
no, but it's a
You get
Borders
paid in Borders
question.
gift cards, though. You get paid in Borders
sorry.
bucks at the company
You've
store.
been
the elegance
been,
with which you accept
disqualified.
praise is incredible.
disqualified.
You're just you're from fucking
Cohen.
Wonderland.
I don't
All
know.
right.
Borders just is just books, but I'd probably go for whatever bullshit. At that point, I'm still into comics, but they wouldn't have anything I was that interested in. I'd already given up on Walking Dead even before the show fucking came out. At that
Oh, yeah.
point,
I probably would.
or
pick-
Robert Kirkman altogether. What'd you get? No, go ahead.
No, okay. I would probably pick up the remaining volumes of Inuyasha and Ranma 1/2 that I haven't finished reading because I'm just getting out of high school at this point.
Yeah.
And maybe the manga adaptation of Battle Royale or something like that.
Ooh.
That'd be sick. I wasn't super into manga at the time, but I probably would have just gotten some that looked interesting from the comic section, or just a bunch of coffee if they had coffee there, right?
I was real into scanlations of mangas at that time. I pay for it now through the One Piece app. Or sorry, the Shonen Jump app. I do think they have other
Piece
things on there too.
Let's be
Look,
honest.
What a
It's the
revealing
one
statement.
Hey, it's also the Chainsaw Man app. Okay, show some respect and some. I need to reread Dragon Ball for the 3rd time this year.
Yeah, Dragon Ball app.
I
Yes?
don't know what I would buy. That's my answer. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing in February 2011. I have a brain problem where I don't know dates at all. I'm actually I recently started a Google Doc that's just called life events because
That's-
I do not know
that's super helpful.
what I was doing, where I was with my life, and I have nothing in 2011 yet. So I don't know what I was
like a
doing.
weird
Well,
year.
you're a bit behind.
I don't know. I don't know what I was doing.
Maybe-
I don't know who I was.
From my
what I was
memory-
like.
Maybe you could
From my
spend your
memory,
money on a
2011.
calendar.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think this
Borders
is
got
about-
those.
This is a couple of years before. This is a couple of years before, I became aware of you for the Silent Hill wiki reason that but I don't know.
Yeah, I
Silent,
must have been doing Let's Plays at least.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have bought some video game bullshit books, I guess.
yeah, there you go.
I don't know. I would have recently graduated college and thought I was still going to be an illustrator, so I might have bought the Society of Illustrators fucking bullshit books that they were saying I needed to have a career.
They got
for.
movies at Borders, right?
The pricing guidelines and shit and all the I don't know.
I can't remember what they had at Borders.
You
They
buy
had
cigarettes at
DVDs
Borders,
at
right?
Borders.
I never
right?
went to
I don't
Borders, to be
I
quite
know it's
honest.
Borders, yeah.
I went to Borders quite a
Yeah.
bit.
I didn't either.
I
but
just
I-
Barnes & Noble
named
didn't
things
have
that I
Borders.
actually bought at Borders, but probably 5 years earlier.
No.
Meow.
All right.
There is another question here for Cohen, also by Paul. We've seen ghost haunting things. We've seen people do necromancy for selfish or violent purposes. But we possibly saw accidental necromancy with the adventures of the Hogg brothers. Have there been relatively benign / benevolent necromancers who didn't appreciate the soul-binding nature of their actions?
I think the question is sort of the question raised by Strung Up. I think,
Spellanzani.
He's very much here's somebody with a sympathetic aim
But going about it not the best way.
I think ultimately there's accidental because there's just ghosts, which we are sort of putting under necromancy, even though if there's not like a person doing it, like Scarlet seemed to be sort of more of a phenomenon than a
Bonebeard kind of.
Yeah.
He wasn't on the mortal plane, but
Well, he used to be, and then he the idea was that there were a lot of paths to the Wonder Sea. I don't know if that's something that actually got conveyed, but it's like,
I guess that would be under accidental necromancy.
Yeah.
Like as if necromancy is like a something that can happen in nature randomly is like a weird bastardization of
something
nature.
that happens to horses sometimes.
I actually, well, that was biomancy. Was the irony? That wasn't necromancy. That was a virus.
Horse disease. But horse disease is something.
Horse disease is actually occurring.
Yeah, but it's like that was a fake out. There was actually the only necromancy that was happening was no wait, I guess that is it had a necromantic byproduct. Kind of like cow farts or methane. It's like, an energy thing is happening here, but that's not its purpose. That's not its goal. It's, I guess,
a natural byproduct. Yeah, it's or maybe an unnatural byproduct.
Ooh. The answer is This is one of the themes we will be exploring. Is there a good reason to do a bad thing? Is there this? It mostly seems to cause the souls in question a lot of suffering. So it's like sort of how we haven't really seen a lot.
Putting your thumb on the scale there, Cohen.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I'm just what we've seen so far.
What about the good necromancy we've seen? Like, and
it's like really well. It's like with. I mean, maybe there has been some. Hard to say. Stay tuned. I really didn't want to do stay tuned to this answer to this question, but
you're saying it was good. Visk drank a guy.
Visk thought they had a good reason.
Stay tuned.
Is it back around to me?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. All right. This question is from Tuxedo Ted. Every girl's crazy about wearing a tuxedo.
Sharp dressed Ted.
There it is. That's much better.
There you go. Wow. Thank you. Yeah. Better.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right, Ted. Congratulations.
Everyone, let's give a trophy to Casey for doing so well. Yay. I'm going to clap. Yay.
Participation trophy. Thank you.
Thank you. I played a Discord sound.
I wonder if that'll show up.
Yes. That's not going to show up on the recording.
Yeah. Oh, well.
All right, Ted S. Congratulations on another season down. Time sure flies, don't it? It sure do. Do you think if Visk ate something that gave them a white stripe, they'd start to look like Aquafresh toothpaste? Kinda. A little bit. Yeah.
Why not?
Get them
Is there? I can see it.
Gingivitis.
Also, this is going to be released on the 22nd. That's right. One day before the Paper Mario TYD remake gets released. Anyone else psyched about it? Yes.
Paper Mario, the year door.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm really, really excited. I actually replayed the original this year on my little dinky CRT, and I'm very excited to play the remake because I wanted to be refreshed so I could compare them.
Ooh, I like that. Anyway, seeing Conk turn into a nunchuck made me wonder what everyone's favorite cool kung fu weapon is. Bonus points is something Conk could feasibly change into. All right, let's roll around. I got mine already, so we're gonna go over. Jess, favorite kung fu weapon.
My favorite kung fu weapon is an improvised one. Like the weirder, the better. The more like, what are they gonna do with that? The better.
Oh yeah.
Like a Jackie
Jackie
Chan
Chan
martial
comes up
arts
with you with
comedy.
the
Drunken
step
Master.
ladder.
I was literally gonna mention Drunken Master.
Yeah.
Watch Drunken Master. Jackie Chan gets up to so much fucking hijinks. He even does some like kung fu shit with like a bunch of like long corded phones. Or no, that was Police Story actually. Those are all really good. Watch more
Well,
Jackie
a
Chan
really
movies
funny
from the
scene in
80s.
Drunken Master, which is to my memory not set at a time with phones, but I might be remembering.
Oh,
other-
you're right. Yeah.
It's just like,
Probably
what is
not,
this?
yeah.
I don't even know. He just gets so angry.
They even let him. They even made him do that, or let him do that in the newest Ninja Turtles movie where he played Splinter, and then Splinter got a chance to
Oh.
fucking fight, and he like they copied like a Jackie Chan's like kind of improv style when he fought.
That's
some of the,
fun.
That's
the
really
villains.
cool.
And I was like, I could even tell, be like, that's Jackie Chan.
He does some similar stuff in the Kung Fu Panda trilogy.
Kung
This
Fu
you
Panda.
Those Kung Fu
Motherfucker.
Panda movies. You're always talking about those Kung Fu Panda movies.
They're really good.
Panda.
They're really good.
You're a big fan of that panda, huh?
That's true. I haven't seen the fourth one, but I'm sure it'll be just as good as the first three I saw for the first time recently. Now, time to take a huge sip of coffee and listen to Amber's answer.
Okay, mine is.
Now time to
I
take a
actually
huge sip
looked
of coffee
mine
and
up because I
not
didn't
look
know
up
what it was
Jackie Chan's
called.
daughter.
Kusarigama, which is a sickle with a chain and a weight attached.
That's mine too.
Yeah.
I
because,
wrote sickle.
Yes, the
Well, sickle.
Kusarigama. It's like a chain sickle. It roughly translates to.
the only cool thing about the play Neo, the game Neo NIOH by
Yeah.
Team Ninja, is learning how the Sigurigama,
They're
which is
so
like
cool.
one of the fighting things, one of the fighting weapons you can use, and it really is a cool weapon. I
That
didn't
was
think
the
I'd-
weapon.
Did not think
Dude
I'd
was
like
gonna
it that
have
much.
in the like when we first.
That is true.
first
I
were
wanted to
talking
have
about
this
doing
Hey,
Sigurigama.
our
stay
thing way
tuned.
back.
I mean,
If he can be nunchucks, if Kong can be nutchucks, Kong could be a
God.
Sigurigama. But I
The
do
problem-
like a
you-
good staff though. A good bow staff is like you can't go wrong with that. You just
I
slap
guess he could
people.
grow a big thorn. That could be cool because it's all like plant stuff. That would
Yeah.
be neat.
Yeah.
We would stay tuned for that. Shit. Well. Shit. Tonbos. Or like I guess just one because as far as we've seen, you can't
Tonfas?
fully
You mean what?
tonfas. There it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tonfa.
The thing where I guess
You
you
can
can
get
only
doubles.
do one though. Ooh, maybe the vines would grow like along you up your arm,
for
so you would
Kong.
stay connected. You know what I mean?
Could
You know what I'm
Kong
saying?
break and
He
still?
can't.
be
That's what
Kong?
I'm saying. It has to stay. It has to stay connected.
Well, I
okay,
think
so you
one
have the
would
two
still be
tonfa,
good.
and there's
That's what I'm saying,
a
like a
vine
vine
connecting them.
grows.
It wraps
Yeah.
around like his arms and like
Yeah,
to strengthen
exactly.
him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool as shit.
Interesting.
Wooden
Wooden
knuckles.
Cool as hell too.
Wooden
you
knuckles with the thorns. There we go. It's just
That's good.
the world's our
Brass
oyster
knuckles.
when it
Shit.
comes to Kong.
There we go.
All right.
Oh wait, hold on a second. I am
Whoa.
not
Yeah.
looking forward to the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake.
Dun
just
dun
don't- I just don't care.
dun dun. I'm
Wow.
probably
Me too.
I like that game. I played it plenty of times for the GameCube version. I don't care to play.
What
this
I'm really
I-
waiting
I-
for is they're
yeah.
remaking all of their really popular Mario RPGs, and that to me seems like eventually they're going to make a new one.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
That'd be
That
cool.
it
That's what I'm
seems
hoping
like
is that
they're
they're
kind of
like-
preparing the field for that.
even if it's not good, I would rather play a new Paper Mario game.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's just like if you haven't played it in 20 years.
Yeah, that's
and you,
what it
or,
was
or
for
you never
me.
played it at all.
True.
the writing
you know.
holds up. I
Origami
gotta
King
say,
was great.
it's the writing is really
Yeah.
fun in Thousand Year Door.
Yeah.
It really is. Paper Mario,
Yeah.
Mario RPG, and Thousand Year Door had a huge impact on yours truly. So
I'm playing Mario RPG for the first time, and then it got interrupted because of this big move to a different country. But I'm looking forward to going back to it because it
Yeah.
is really funny and charming. But yeah, there's also too many other video games, so I can't get hyped for any more. I'm at
That
capacity.
also, that asshole, like I gotta play that Indica game where you're a
Yeah,
nun.
no, me too.
That looks cool as hell.
I'm
There's
about
too many
I'm
things.
about to reach the third layer of endings in
Animal Well.
Animal
but
Well
I
was
won't-
good.
I will
I
say
played
no
it up
more.
to the first player ending. I liked it.
Animal Well's nuts. I'm back in Crow Country, but now we're
Oh,
stuck
Crow
too much in games. We got to move on.
Yeah,
It
we're
was a
getting in the
fair- it was
weeds.
a- it
We'll
was,
talk about
you
Crow
know,
Country later.
it's all right.
yeah.
We talk a little bit.
We'll have a job about
Yeah,
Crow
I'd
Country.
say the
We all
three
like
of us who are not going will
Yeah.
get together and talk about Crow Country.
I'm game for it.
I'll play it. When's
Yeah.
it come out?
It's already out.
It's already
now.
out.
What?
Now.
Too many
You told
fucking
me not
games.
to tell
I know
you
it's
about
out.
it.
Too
Well,
many fucking games.
I mean, I guess what I meant is I'll play it, win. I guess that's what I was really asking. Just asking
now.
myself. All right. Okay.
All right. So a great big B is back in the room again.
Buzz.
Asking cute questions like if Visk absorbed a load of cornstarch, would they turn into an oobleck type substance? And if so, would that give them resistance against striking damage? I feel like yes and yes, but they would feel fucking miserable and would borderline not be able to move. It would be similar to like eating way too much fucking food and you don't want to move.
You wouldn't be as
I don't
quick
think it'd
as
be-
you used to, yeah.
I don't think it'd be advantageous at all, basically.
But
Yeah,
the resistance would make up for that.
I would say
you'd get a lot more defense than you normally have.
It gives Fist resistance to striking damage. Yeah, but like in the same way that like being petrified does. You
Yeah,
know?
like it'd be like eating a ton of stodgy food where you just feel fucking gross and don't want to move and you're like barfy feeling. Like, I don't know.
So definitely Vis can like get stuff in them. Things can like sink in. But I think like this is a little bit of a side thing, but I think like Goomans in general have like a membrane on the outside that is keeping them from picking up. It's like Visk is not just constantly picking up dirt.
Oh, they have like a cell
as
wall.
they walk around. Yeah, they have like exactly. They have they have a membrane that is like filtering out low level sediment, dust, et cetera, et cetera. But sometimes that gets like, the stuff just gets dropped into them or et cetera,
Forced, yeah.
Yeah. So
Shot through.
so I think you would need to like, for something that was like a lot of starch, you would need to like almost inject it and then find a way to. This is the kind of stuff I tell you. I know that we're going to see a conversation about this on the Discord with the jigsaw ass murder scientists we have.
Yeah,
who are
we
doing
got a lot of 'em.
If you are interested in the science of the math of how to kill Fisk or do
Yeah.
various other things, check out the
I
Discord.
love the discussions
It's
of our
one of
very
the-
nice viewers who are like, "Wow, what do you think would happen if we put Visk in a centrifuge?" And then like on the other
like,
side of the two-way mirror where they can't see us, Jess is like, "They're killing them."
Oh my god!
They're so
like yeah, they're
precious
like
and
very
sweet.
nicely. They're like very nicely positing these like really creative things that I think would super fucking at least hurt really bad
I mean,
to happen.
You were fine in that fountain when you were getting sprayed around. You just couldn't get out.
Not exactly.
You had already been
Pretty
severely
miserable.
hurt.
I was pretty miserable in there, honestly.
You had been
yeah.
punched really hard before that, so maybe that
Yes.
was more of it. All right. Ooh, that's a good.
Oobleck
All right.
stuff. I just had a thought about like the Oobleck stuff and the kids who just want to squeeze visceral tag, want to put them in milk and throw them at a wall or whatever. I mean, I remember having silly putty and like making little guys and then like cartoonishly hurting them and shit like that, making little animations with my Game Boy camera.
That's so
I just
cute.
don't fuck. I
Casey.
just
Oh
don't
my
really
God.
fuck with. I just don't really fuck with slime anymore. I don't fuck with slime anymore.
I've never been a slime.
But it's
I
like
would
you
get
can't-
toys that came with slime, and I would never
Yeah.
open them.
But
slime part.
silly putty, you can actually mold a little bit, even though it does melt. The slime is just slime. I don't want to fucking touch that. That's gross.
See, like I loved Silly Putty, and I was into Nickelodeon Gak a lot.
Gak was
Gak
a little
was fun.
too was not as like Gak. You just farting it. You just going.
Yeah, Gak isn't sticky unless you got it like really hot and weird.
You got
or
that shit on
something,
a
but, like,
couch. It's over for
Oh,
the couch
yeah,
though.
it's
anything,
over.
anything with any. It's not
Carpet,
sticky until
carpet,
anything
no.
with fibers. It was
Yeah.
the
like,
furnishing annihilator.
I bought a slime a while ago before I had a slime character because I was like, what's the big deal? Why is everyone into slime again? And I bought a slime and it looks like syrup, actually. It's red and mostly opaque. But I tried it and it was just like sticky, like syrup. It just felt like I had gross things on my hands. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this should be on the fucking diagnostic test for autism. I hate this feeling. But like, you're supposed to like play with it a certain way and like change the texture so it's not sticky. Like there's some sort of tactic I didn't know, and it didn't come with a manual or anything to do that.
Slime
Well, yeah. I
fucking-
mean, you
didn't know.
just you just bought the baseline slime. You didn't get the.
It's like a learning curve
you
to
didn't get
slime.
the
I didn't
glitter.
know.
You didn't get the glitter upgrade or the sand upgrade.
Yeah,
or
you got to put
whatever.
some
No, the
cornstarch in there.
clay.
Cornstarch, the clay
You put
upgrade.
borax or something. There's some sort of chemical.
I
that
wouldn't
you
put
put in
borax.
there.
Don't be
Yeah,
putting borax in anything you're going to be
bleach.
touching a lot.
Maybe some
Is it
vinegar.
Something else. I don't know.
Put some
Put
bleach
some
and vinegar
drain
in your
cleaner.
slime.
Yeah.
Something else I'm forgetting the name of, obviously.
And
Put
then just
mercury in there.
and then just smell it, just deep it, smell it in. Mm.
I might be
Asbestos.
overestimating the danger of the danger of touching borax, but I think of it as pretty bad because when I was in high school, a guy put borax in another guy's Sprite, and then he had to be rushed to the emergency room.
Oh my
And the guy
God.
who put it in, what was fun was he was kind of like never gets in trouble. His mom is a teacher, whatever. But it's like it really rained down on him with that. It's like, dude, this is like attempted murder. You can't be
could've killed
doing
this
this.
kid.
Yeah, you poisoned this kid, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
It
poisoning.
is it's boric acid that you put in slime to regenerate the slime to its slime factor.
I don't want to
I
take
looked it up.
how to take care of a slime. Step
Yeah.
one.
Take care of it.
throw
How to
it
take
away.
care of a slime in the 99 level dungeon. And I just woke up with a level 1 skill. All right. Let's keep it rolling. Enough slime time.
Yep.
Slime time is over. I'm
Slime time
putting all
over.
the slimes back in the little film tube canisters.
The corral.
Yeah.
Amber, I think it's you.
Oh, it's
from
me?
Sheila Chalk.
Yeah.
Monsieur Chalk, an obsidian and bone member.
Ooh, Monsieur.
Oui,
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui,
Oh,
monsieur.
yeah. D'Artagnan.
Very good.
Yeah.
So I was watching a 1970s Musketeers movie. I remember that the Artigon's valet is named Planchette.
D'Artagnan.
Okay, whatever. I'm
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And wondered, what is Planchette named after, if anything? Cohen, I believe you have a concise answer for this one.
Yes, Planchette, D'Artagnan's valet, is named after the thing that you on a Ouija board. It's the thing that you hold. It's the thing everybody
The
puts their
triangle.
fingers on that moves, and then they move it around together. Yeah.
And then everyone lies to each other about who's
Yeah.
doing it.
Well, it's micro movements, and then it's like you're doing. It's like when you get enough people, it doesn't feel like you're doing it, and nobody is the one mostly, or
Communism.
somebody is. Yeah.
There's something there about communism.
There we go.
Yep.
Love it.
All right.
Nice succinct answer.
Yeah, that's the answer. That's what Planchette is, and it sounds like the character, like a name that character would have. So
Yeah.
it worked.
I'll go. I think I'm next anyway. Paul. Paul again. What's up? Obsidian and Bone. What's up, Paul? And then me
Paul
and Paul do
Bearer.
like a really insane handshake that only me and Paul know.
Oh, very good.
They asked,
Wow.
are there ways to tell biomancy from necromancy from engineering just besides the vibes? Seems like there would be. Bio seems more mucus matter. Necromancy seems like you just playing with what you get.
Biomancy
Well,
needs
like-
a reason that it works.
Yeah, so biomancy is limited by the physical. So if it's something that a body, it's the magic part is like, oh, this person can have the hands of a mole, but they still need to eat to sustain those. They it's taking the shapes and designs, but it's like the body has all the requirements that those things would have. Obviously, it's a little playful with it, but in universe, the idea is that is the limitation. It's like you can't give yourself wings and fly without also hollowing out your bones and like making your weight a lot less. You
You got to scrape
shrinking
all the
your organ.
marrow. You got to scrape
Yeah.
all that marrow out. Ugh.
Yeah, that's what birds have.
Like that saw trap.
Yeah.
Oh, that
That's
sounds like
what
a
he was
rough one.
trying to do to that lady.
Just
Yeah.
trying to get your marrow out. I'm helping.
Haven't you ever wanted to fly?
Generally, a good sign though has been red eyes. Has usually been sort of like the necromantic calling card. If something has let's see, Max Million Buckworth, and also what's her face, so Scarlet Sizzlefinger, and also Syrup is red, and I think Thomas had red eyes also. And so, we got ourselves, and Bonebeard also had red eyes. So we got ourselves a little running theme there.
Necromancy's
There's a
green.
Black Flame also.
Yeah, I was saying green.
Black Flame.
running one.
Black Flame is Black Flame does come up a fair bit.
I see
Green
Paul
seems to be like associated with like the sort of the Eversoul and the river, whereas it's like red is sort of like energy being expended, like
Gotcha.
necromantic energy is happening.
Green good, red bad. I saw that Paul had an example I skipped over. I apologize. Should I bring that up now?
Sure. It's all good.
All right, Paul. For example, Paul had an example here. Say a necromancer had 100 deceased what? Pulling on a cable to move an old-fashioned elevator up or down. Would a person inside the elevator know any different than if it was being hydraulically driven or pulled by an 8-legged elephant?
I think that the thing is, like a necromancer probably wouldn't make 100 corpses pull the cable. They would just move the cable by burning souls.
Yeah, they would just do that. They would do, or they would.
Necromancers just don't want to work these days.
Yeah,
They just rather burn a
necromancy
soul.
is the nobody wants to work these days school of magic.
It's the shortcut. It's the shortcut magic. It's much
if-
harder to do
If
something.
a giant
without
elephant
necromancy.
was pulling me, I feel like I could tell by like the just like the natural way. It's not like a machine that just is supposed to do the one thing over and over very slowly. But if an elephant was just like, "Ugh," I feel like I could tell. Be like,
Casey.
whoa.
This is an 8-legged elephant. You forgot.
Oh, okay. Then I
factor
wouldn't
that in.
notice. Then I wouldn't notice at all. Shit, you're
Yeah,
right.
it makes
8?
it more like I think I would call it like a dramapede.
Yeah,
or
okay.
something.
You're right. Yeah, if it was 8-legged elephant, then I wouldn't notice. All right.
Yeah.
Well, asked and answered, Paul. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
That was very good. All right. Is this
Colin.
me?
Yeah.
Okay. This is from Relman, Obsidian and Bone. What is something your castmates do that you particularly enjoy? Nothing. Fuck them. No, that's not.
Yeah,
That's
burn in hell.
now everybody else's
I'm
answers
shooting
are
at you
better.
all.
This is what I do that I enjoy.
Who goes first? I wrote down a bunch of stuff.
Oh,
Well,
that's
then
very
you go
nice.
first.
You go ahead. I didn't have any.
Because I'm scared.
Go ahead.
I'm scared to fuck shit up and say stuff bad. When I don't mean it bad. Not that I'm saying anything like underhanded or anything, but anyway, like all of you are like very fun to play off of, like in different ways that like bring out different sides of my character that like I don't know exist until prompted in those like little weird ways, and like Dudu's got this kind of like vibe to him that is like almost like Big Brother type energy. Like it reminds me of like Mike Nelson and the Bots relationship a little bit, as opposed to like how Joel was like more of a dad figure, you
Yeah.
know. So it's like, oh, we got like the
He
Mike
seemed
Nelson
kind of
type
hands
guy.
off. Joel did. Yeah, I was a Mike head.
Yeah, I was my kid.
Joel
But,
didn't
like,
want to
you
be
know.
on the show. That was he just wanted to be a writer, and so it's like he's
Well, he
great.
got
but he's
his
just like,
answer.
well, here I am.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love him,
asleep.
Quaalude Joe. Yeah,
But like, you know, like goofy but like emotionally intelligent, like and like well-meaning and stuff like that. And like Dudu
Midwestern.
somehow
yeah.
Midwestern. Dudu has like these cranky moments too that contrast with that in really interesting ways. So I get to have like these like silly like scenes, but I also get to have these little like goofy learning moments too, where like asking like, are worms good? You know, but like I don't know, but also having like more tense moments where it's just like, oh, like Dudu's in one of those moods, like better tiptoe a little, which like makes Visk learn like some social cues because there's an emotional stake there that they suddenly care a little bit about. Like, here's this guy who's been really generous with me and patient with me, and for some reason it's upsetting to see them upset. Like, how do I diffuse this or handle
Yeah.
this, which is something they've never had to think about before, you know.
Dude gets a little
And
like Charlie
Felicity,
smiling friend sometimes, and like doesn't want to be there.
I need to-
but I think it's fun.
I need to watch more of that. You're probably right though.
Very good.
Popping off. It's
But
rising.
like and Felicity is like super interesting to play off of because there's like this natural like life versus death, chaos versus order, law versus crime
The
thing.
core
Quark
theme
versus
going on the
Odo,
show.
yeah.
So yeah, Quark versus Odo. So it's like an inherent like built-in sort of difference, this animosity between two of them, but also they have like this begrudging respect for the skill set of the other person. So like they're both like symbolizing something to each other that they despise. So it's a matter of trying to find the humanity in there and not like the preconceived notion that they're usually working with. And like also like Visk is so brash and like socially inept, and Felicity is very tactful and guarded, and like that contrast is just like a lot of fun to like needle each other on and see like where's the limit on that for each
Yeah.
other. Like is there a way to make Visk more polite? Is there a way to make Felicity lose her cool? Like, that's really interesting. It's got legs, baby. I like the legs.
It does. Yeah, like riffing off of that, like I like the way it's developed, and it's developed organically as it's gone on. That like Fisk, like you said, like represents more like order and law, but it's interesting that despite representing those things we could traditionally would associate with good in the fantasy setting, that Felicity has a moral code that is much closer to like probably your average person's moral code. It's bad when people die, stuff like that, and so it creates a very interesting like I don't feel like either of them occupy there's not like a good and an evil character clearly in the party. And there's two people with conflicting value sets, and I think that just plays that really well, and it's really fun. It's also just nice that everybody's really quick on the show. It's fun to work with a bunch of people who are really quick and are really funny.
A lot of quick wits
on
this, and like it's really the fact. It's like when the fact that like one of the things that we have to be most careful for is everybody thought of a good joke at once. That's that's a nice problem to have.
It's a wonderful problem, but oh boy, I got to move around a lot of clips, just nudging, not like changing the order of anything. It's just like, oh, everyone said something funny like all at once. Oh no,
I don't want to take over Amber's, but I sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that, I just listened to a version of an upcoming episode, which is I listened to it a little earlier than I usually listen to a version, and I realized I was listening to the one that was Jess moving everybody around, and just like that specific, like just the amount of just like I would say like measured perfectionism is what Jess is doing. It is within reason. Stuff goes out and gets done, and you don't meet a lot of perfectionists who are also closers, who are also like, oh, this needs to be done. This needs to be done by this time, and then it's done. I've worked with a lot of people who. That sounds like I'm about to talk shit. I have worked with some people and been this person myself, like, as it's like, no, we need to keep polishing. We need to fix this and add this. And that's such a tempting hole to fall down. And Casey is really good about, Casey has so much goddamn wisdom from just like goddamn decades of making art and putting it out there that there's just been, like keep it simple, just like it's fantastic.
Perfect is the enemy of done, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, these are all things I saw when I was like late night at a Kinko's. Remember those? Coffee shop, printing some shit late at night, and then looking at the book rack of self-help things. I wouldn't buy any of them, but there was a book rack of just a lot of self-help shit, and I didn't read any of them, but I did like look at just like the back and the front and just be like, what's the basic idea? Oh, do the hard thing first. Got it. Keep it simple. Understood, And that just sort of worked for me the more I kept doing it. And I'm also maybe untreated ADD or something. I don't know. Big imagination as a kid from cartoons and shit like this that just I was able to bottleneck it into drawing and figuring that out.
Yeah, and you have like a lot of like your media literacy, because you've been making stories yourself for so long, is like through the roof, and you have this like kind of very inherent ability to like see where little plot things should land and little emotional beats ought to happen here. And like, let's bring down the energy here and let's boost it up there and stuff like that. And like, that is like improv dream state good shit.
Absolutely.
It's like, ooh, this is how it gets rolling in certain directions that are interesting.
Yeah, that's just the writer.
Everyone here's like good at that, but I think like, because you've written stories and I've read those stories, it's like, oh, I remember something like this that reminds me of this in fucking He's a Good Boy or something like that. It's like, oh, he's practiced this shit.
You know what's another thing I remember that it kind of helped with stories and stuff? It was in Patton Oswalt's, one of his first stand-up CDs was called 222, which was just unedited, like 2 hours and 2.5 hours of like his material from his first and a little bit of his second stuff. And one of them was a bit where he was like having like a moment of he was doing a joke where he was like going to have this and then it was going to have a high note and a heckler just went in the back, and he went off on that guy.
I remember this one.
telling him.
Oh, he like rolled his whole head, not just his eyes. He rolled his whole head.
Yeah,
just
he was
describing
like
for the audio audience.
Yeah,
might
he was
be
like,
listening in.
"You dumb motherfucker!" Like he just started
Is
going
this the
off
one
on
where
him
he's
from
like, they're gonna find a record of my CD in 10,000 years, and they're gonna hear you on it and know that you were a douchebag still.
Yeah.
Or something like
He's
that.
like-
He
Yeah.
like
Just
goes into
went off.
how he had been building and like how the guy had basically fucked up the moment.
Yeah, the bit got like repurposed for the second CD, but like in 222, he just goes off on the guy, basically calling him out, calling him an idiot, calling him a dumbass. You're gonna die angry, and no one's gonna know why. All this shit. Saying that there's a point in the joke where it's gonna go back up and we're all gonna be happy, but you're just too scared of silence, so you had to scream like an idiot. I think about that often when it comes to like the roller coaster you're supposed to put on when it comes to like, stories, jokes, and shit like that.
Discord ate your scream, so I thought you were just doing a gesticulation with your head.
Oh,
I didn't hear you make that scream.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Exciting.
I'm sorry.
That's for the audience only.
I tried to do it
That
in
is
the
a thing with-
background, but it was like a background like scream of like oh, like woohoo or whatever.
That is a thing we have to deal with sometimes, especially when sometimes the cast does not hear my noises until later.
I feel like we could turn that off on Discord, can't we? That kind of
I
we
thing.
would
hope
probably
so.
lose other things.
don't
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll give it a shot. I want to say, Amber, you're so fucking inventive when it comes to like clever, like using what is in the room and like quickly coming up with like a thing that I didn't think about how those could be used together, or like pushing like when you and sometimes it's planned. I love that like you show up with like in High Noon. Amber had had been thinking about, okay, what am I going to do for this thing, and had this whole like
trap.
the trap with the safe and the knives. A lot of like, and like is always like, ooh, I thought this would be like a fun character thing. Like it's like, ooh, like I'm bringing Julio with me to go look for something. And
That's
slight
okay. You can
spoiler.
sneak that one in. They're gonna hear that episode soon.
But there's so much. Something I'm impressed with all three of you is just like the way you are all willing to sit in an uncomfortable scene without trying to fix it or trying to like get. And that's something that was hard for me initially, because typically at a table, I like this is my first time DMing for like an audience. So a lot of my skill set has had to be in the past at home games. Not that it happened a lot, but if there's tension at the table, I need to find a way to diffuse it, because that's probably not role playing tension. That is probably just a person who is pissed off slightly, and I need to find a way to modulate this because we're just hanging out. But it's different when it's narrative, and all y'all are willing to make some choices where I'm like, oh man, oh no, that's way better. That's way better because that's creepier.
Those are the downs that precede like great ups.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those moments.
Yeah. I was like watching, I'm always on TikTok like a freak, wasting my goddamn life.
I thought
be
Finland
playing
banned
video
that.
games. At least Finland's out there. What's wrong with me? I'm so stupid. But there's this guy that popped up on my feed called Improv GM, and he has like a lot of just words of wisdom. He's like a nice old grognard type guy.
Oh, I like
and
those
he's
guys.
been DMing for goddamn ages. He seems lovely, and he has like a lot of like acting and improv like advice, and a lot of things he comes back to is like make the big move instead of the safe move.
Yeah.
Like if something just seems kind of tasty and dramatic, you should probably just do that, because that's like a bigger thing for other people to work with if you do that. Like
Yeah.
this drinking the flask, I was terrified to fucking do that. You could hear that I was terrified to fucking do that. Like Jessica playing the character was like, that's a bad idea. And I'm like, this is objectively a stupid
Yeah, it
fucking
blew me away
reason
when
to
you
do
did it
this.
too. I like took all my notes
Yeah.
and put
And
them
I
in the
was
garbage.
like-
It's like, all right, we're playing it
I was
raw.
like, oh, but it would be really fucking crazy if that happened, and it's up to me if it does or not. And it's like I was hemming and hawing about it for a good amount of time, and it was a long enough amount of time that I was like, if I'm this tortured over it, it'd probably be cool to do. And I felt like a little cornered, but it's like probably a good thing I was cornered
Yeah.
because it made me do something fucking wild and interesting. So I was thinking of that TikTok guy, Improv GM, being like, do something crazy instead of something safe. It's not really interesting to do something that keeps your character safe.
Having bad things happen is good for you in an actual play that people are listening to. It's like in
Yeah.
an actual play, the second best roll besides a 20 is a 1.
Yeah.
Because those are the two most interesting and dramatic rolls.
Absolutely.
100%. Just flip a coin. Forget
That's
the
why I
D20.
keep using
Yeah.
my die that
Is
only
there-
rolls like 18s and 2s.
You know,
Yeah.
I had a when you said flip a coin, the 20 of the 1, that reminded me of like an idea for like a campaign. If I wanted to do one, I would be like, well, is there a campaign, or has there been like D&D-esque stuff? Maybe not D&D, because I know there's other games out there where it is literally just you either succeed really well or you fuck up real bad, and the story keeps going, and you only
I
can
don't
make
know.
successes or fails
That's
as the story goes.
that's theoretically how D&D works, is like succeeding and failing.
But there's no in between.
Too much middle ground.
No
There's
middle
too much
ground.
gradients.
That's not normally there. I'm doing that. Like
I know,
normally
but, like-
D&D is like a hard success or a hard fail. Like it
okay.
is
Yeah.
a gradient. I am bringing in stuff from like Powered by the Apocalypse to give us a gradient of. I see what you're saying. You're thinking like, are you thinking of like if things
You're
go
flipping a
super
coin
well
for
or they
every
go
choice.
complete?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
just-
literally a binary choice of like, I want to open the door. Well, you failed, so the door is like, falls off its hinges and breaks apart or whatever, and the house
Well,
falls
then you
down.
can get into the
Yeah,
room.
it's
you're
not
gonna
so
get to,
easy.
though.
I guess you can get into
This
the
is-
room, but the door can't be closed anymore, so keep going.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is kind of a challenge of DMing
Yeah.
and you'll hear it sometimes, and I've had to change how I do some things from like, we do this a lot now, and it's like, oh, what works, what doesn't. But I don't put anything critical behind don't put anything that is critical to the movement of the plot gatekept by a dice roll.
Sure.
Like there needs to be another way. There needs to be another way to move forward. Fail forward is what they call it.
I guess
But-
my idea for for whatever that campaign could or could not be was that like every little action you have to do, opening a door, closing a window, would be success or failed by a 20 or a 1,
Constant.
Yeah, and
flipping
then that's the point, is like something's wrong with the universe, and maybe we can cut this and use it later. Something's wrong with the universe enough where if I fuck up real bad. But if
Like a probability.
Yeah, probability
but if I
DMing.
do, like a little bit of what's that fucking probability machine from Hitchhiker's Guide, I guess.
The infinite probability drive. There
Yeah,
was also I think what would I call this?
I think of it in terms of like Earthbound or Mother, first one, where you're just walking around and suddenly there's shaking and a doll attacks you. And it's like, that doesn't happen, but you rolled a bad roll, so the doll's going to attack you now.
Maybe like a double-headed eagle. So it's like a two-headed coin.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying?
It's a
It
cursed,
says-
it's the cursed quarter.
Yeah. Nope. All right.
I'm just very thankful that I'm playing D&D with people that are not wimps and are cool to make big crazy decisions and are cool to make me do big crazy decisions, because it's kind of improv poison if you're with somebody who's not willing to also make big moves with you or react to those moves in big ways.
My first D&D
Like,
encounter,
yeah.
my first D&D playthrough was fun. I just went all out as a lizard wizard.
That's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah, good guy.
But second
yeah.
second time we played, he did die, and I was like, well, that's the end of him.
There you go.
That's how that goes.
I played like a one shot of like For the Queen once with some people I kind of half knew and some people I didn't know at all. And like, not to like drag this random person, but it's a game where you kind of have to commit a lot. You have to decide like, we should play it on the Patreon, honestly.
Oh,
For
yeah.
the Queen is really cool. But it's a collaborative storytelling game that has an eventual goal, but you don't really roll any dice or anything. You get these random cards with prompts on them, and you have to kind of riff on the prompts, and you create these relationships and characters and events and stuff like that. And there's just this one guy that was just unwilling to commit to anything in his backstory whatsoever. And we're playing this game for like over an hour at this point, and maybe 2. And this guy had 0 character. And every time he got a question, he'd be like, I don't want to say, like maybe it was more like. And like I came out of the blue because I was like playing like I was fucking just Sir Daniel Fortescue from Medieval. I was on my skeleton bullshit.
That's a great one to take inspiration from.
I was just playing Sir Daniel Fortescue, like just being a court jester that was like a reanimated skeleton.
Jolly Bones. That's what I'd call that guy.
Great. But I like just burst in and I'm just like, well, I'm a court jester. I can fuck with people. I'm just like, I heard he doesn't talk about his wife because she was a dancing bear. Just like trying to make him do something. And like he got so mad at me and it's like, it's been a fucking 2 hours, man. Do something here.
That's a guy who doesn't know how to play.
It's
God,
hard.
Torture.
It is hard because it's hard with that because I think that game is like is there a game master in that game? I can't remember if there's anybody who's you usually want somebody captaining the ship.
I think there is a game master type person in that, but
Well, it's hard. It
like,
can be hard.
I don't blame anybody for like,
you
know, some people are not like, keyed in to do that stuff, but it's like, man, where's the play?
People get nervous.
Point,
People get shy. It is hard.
I get that.
It's something that's hard for people to get over because people spend a lot of their time in their lives trying not to do something foolish, trying to not appear like they're fucking up, and a big hurdle to get over in roleplay is the idea. It's like, well, if something bad happens to you, it didn't happen to you. It happened to the character that you're playing. And that's like, and like, I don't know. Not everybody's got and it's
I was like trying to break through something, but it didn't work.
you gotta coax them out. That's
and it's just like, it's a table problem. It's a personality clash issue. Sometimes it just doesn't happen, so it was a little unfortunate, but it was like really like a learning thing for me. I was like, don't do this.
That's why I say, like, he doesn't know how to play in like the general sense of like you're playing with friends here, literally. Have fun with that.
Calm down. It's fine.
Yeah,
ease up. It's
cool.
Cool.
Maybe you do have to coax them out.
Yeah, like needle a little bit, but
no, I meant like
needle.
I meant like drugs.
I'd be shocked to learn you did that.
I meant like drugs and have fun with them.
Oh yes, that can help. That can help with roleplay.
It was over Discord. Could not share any drugs with anybody, nor did I have any.
Oh, that really doesn't help.
There's this MP3 I got.
Harder.
There's this MP3 I got that if you listen to it, gives you auditory hallucinations. I heard it about the news from boomers. It's real.
Oh yeah, like every 5 years they come out. They roll this one out. They've been doing it a long.
Yeah.
This is the song
Digital
that gets you high.
drugs.
It's just the audio from Skibbity Toilet. What the fuck?
That was one of the scams I used to run on people in RuneScape. Is I told them that there was weed out in the wilderness that would get your character high. And I would lead them to the PvP. I would lead them to the PvP areas that my friends would tell log in that area, that we just kill them all at once.
Wow. Highway robbery.
Oh yeah, I was a huge scammer.
You're a highway
bandit.
I would set up little stories. I would set up little stories to scam. I had a friend make a character who looked like he was an NPC and had like and he would come in and do an emote and then like ask riddles, and I would like have the answer ready. And then I'd be like, oh, I just got this stuff. I don't want it, to see if I want it. And then sell it as if it were like rare items that were like dropped by an in-game event, and then just make a ton of gold. This is not remotely the fastest way to make money in that game. It was just funnier. It was just
you just wanted to fuck with
people. It's the funniest
people.
way to make games, to make money in games. It sounds like.
This isn't like 2000.
How old were you?
This is like 2002, 3. So I was probably like
high school.
14, 15.
Yeah. Oh, you're learning so much about birthdays this one. All right.
I know, right?
All right.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. And I don't do anything anybody enjoys, so we'll just keep rolling.
Wait.
I did have something for Planchette and the mayor.
Oh, okay. I wasn't. I swear to God, I wasn't fishing, but I'll take it.
I'll say it really quick though. Planchette now has this like really funny mom vibe going on with Vis that came up in this last episode, and that was just really fucking funny. I didn't expect it. Especially because she sounds like my mom, so of course I'm going to like respond to that in that way.
I never thought about that. That's true.
Yeah, she sounds just like my mom, so like pulling like the mom attitude on Visk is going to psychologically affect me playing Visk. And I said this in one of the art dumps that I did. last time we had a postseason hiatus, but I don't know if I said it out loud on an audio thing, but I really appreciate the line that Cohen rides with playing the mayor, where there's like this ambiguity of the relationship there, where like it doesn't feel emotionally exploitative. Like it's really careful and it's very well done. And like I've put you in a lot of like really tricky situations with the crush, and I'm sorry. And it would be extremely easy to either shoot Visk down or just cruelly lead Visk on. And you found a third option there, so like fucking well done.
Yeah, I've had a whole lifetime to learn how to delicately let someone down easy. You know, that's just a bit.
That's
That's just
surprising.
Joe.
Sorry,
That's a bit. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Oh no, I'm such a foppish wimp. All right, I didn't get very far in that game.
Monsieur Shock, an Obsidian and Bone member, asks, for everyone, do you have a character stuck in your brain you never got a chance to play? It could be for any
No.
RPG. I do, actually. I got one.
Me too.
So or at least, like, to say stuck in my brain, it's like, I eventually will probably use this for something. So if you hear it in something else, or I tell you about it, for instance, from a home game, and you recognize it from here, you can be like, ah, wow, I know that. I have this idea for a character. It's like a fighter. But the way that they fight is that they are like, their arms are restrained somehow. I don't know if they have like shackles or what, but they have a ball and chain on their foot, and they like hacky sack soccer juggle it to wield it as their weapon. Like somewhere between a combination of like juggling a soccer ball and using a skip it.
That sounds really good. I like that guy. That's a fun character. That's a
I may have
cool.
I may have brought him up before, but when Cohen lived near me, we tried to do that weird Western thing that you were trying to do.
There was just
I
like
liked-
9 people at the table. It was the
Yeah,
first time I
yeah.
ever DM'd. It was way
But
too
I
many
liked
people.
I liked my character, which was just a lawful good, really good cowboy shooter. But he was also a little bit like dumb and dopey because he just was like, everything's fine, nothing's wrong, and I kind of based him off of Phil Hartman's like Troy McClure a little bit. But if he wasn't like underhanded and weird as an actor, I think
Like the
that what-
characters he played.
yeah. And I literally like took it from John Schwartzwelder, one of the prolific Simpsons writers, did like a pilot that never got made called Pistol Pete. That was essentially about a show cowboy who was just made sheriff of like a fake cowboy who can just shoot really well, who was made sheriff of a town who actually had a cowboy problem. And I tried to like play that kind of guy, and I kind of liked that idea. Another one I'd love to play, completely evil. Just a real evil motherfucker. That'd be fun to play a bad guy.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I would love to hear you play a real fucking evil guy.
I don't have
can't
a-
imagine it, and I want to know it.
I don't have a character or anything, but like I could come up with one. Maybe I could just turn that Troy McClure Pistol Pete guy into an evil character. But he's still like, he still thinks he's lawful good and is also a crack shot. So that's why you got to be real careful.
he's the cowboy
That's
guy
just,
from
that's just
Harvester.
like most cops.
But
Except
he's
for
not
the being
but he's not,
good at, except for
yeah,
the
but he's not
accuracy
thumbed.
part.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah,
not
no.
thumb brained or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That's
Hi.
yeah.
I'm here to affect some political change.
The only way I know how. Cock. Pew pew pew. Parody.
Yeah. I'm spoiled because like anytime I think of a good character, they go into the show. Like this is like this show is like an absolute feast for me because my entire life I've had too many ideas for characters and stories and whatever. And now it's just like, okay, here's another. Okay, this episode it's this thing. Oh yeah, I wanted to do a thing like this. Okay, we're doing that. And that's a huge reason that this show, while we do have these longer plots that are happening, is always going to be at least like 50% monster of the week. This time you're in. I
Yeah.
was about to say something that is an episode we're going to do, so I'm not going to say.
Yeah,
Zip, zip.
you got your character factory. That's always fun to have that kind of output. It'd be like, I made up a new kind of guy. I'm going to put him in my story now.
You guys have to deal
Well,
with
I
them for an
think
hour and a
there's-
half. But it's like I've got how would an uptight person, a slacker, and a rogue, how would they interact with this? It's fun.
I feel like this is a brain chemistry difference because I think me being autistic, I have one thing and I'm hyper focused on it and I can't imagine anything else, and it's Visk. So that's me.
Well,
That was my
imagine-
first
imagine
indie
Visk-
character. Yeah.
Imagine Visk if it wasn't if they weren't goo, then you're just playing a regular person who's dealing with this
Boring.
same shit. No,
Boring.
we can give you a gun. It's fine.
Boring.
We can give your
Fall is the
character a
movie
gun.
falling down, right?
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
perfect.
that's a fun movie. It's Amber. You got any? We already talked. Yeah, you already said.
I
You already
opened
said. Sorry.
mine.
That's right.
All right.
That's right. I was just trying. That's right.
I'm the bad guy. How did that happen?
No, you're the bad guy talking to the Nazi. And then that's me. And that's Doo-Doo playing the Nazi or whatever.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
I believe it's me. It's Giratine. I feel like they keep changing that pronunciation.
Gyratine.
Guy Ratine. Anyway, Obsidian Bone. Obsidian Bone. Guy Ratine. Guy Ratine says, I've been obsessed with Hades 2 lately. So what? End of question. So
you,
what
you
type
paused to look at us for a reaction. Like, what do you want? We're waiting for you to keep
I don't know.
going. I'm not going to interrupt.
I just,
Hades
I
2?
just moved to
Hades 2?
Finland. I can't
I
play
don't like-
anything.
I don't
I'm
have-
busy.
I haven't touched it yet, so I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
I don't like
I
to
want
play
to.
early access games because I
So-
make video games for a living, so it feels like work.
So what type of boons would each of your characters bestow? I'm assuming it's similar to Hades 1. Rather than elemental affinities, I'm guessing there may be more abstract benefits like boosting crits with Artemis, etc.
I like that.
Rate of attack and reduced cooldown.
Absolutely. That's OP.
Yeah. There you go. That's Felicity's. What would?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I always liked... No, rate of attack and cooldown, just, being able to skip around quicker, dash quicker.
Yeah, I feel
was
like
always
Doo-Doo
very
has.
helpful.
Oh, that would make sense for
Yeah.
Doo-Doo because monk stuff. Like that would also make sense for Felicity. Just like increased like agility stuff
Yeah.
too.
I
I'm
got-
making up one.
Go ahead.
I want a boon that makes it so that your shots, whatever they are, can have like splash damage of grease, and so whoever you hit once has a chance to fall prone and take more damage.
That's good.
And
Oh,
like
sure.
as you upgrade it, it gets like a more likely chance that happens. Or like if you have a long range weapon, it like leaves a slime trail that makes dudes like fall down.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
gonna
Hades
say-
1 did that, right?
Yeah, Doo-Doo. I'm gonna say Doo-Doo. I think like would make your weapon range longer, but they do it by just making the weapon image bigger and bigger. Like as you get more and more, so it's just like it's still a regular sword, regular looking sword, but it's like 15 feet long, just like
Wow. Now that's OP.
yeah.
I hope Hades 2 comes out well. I'm excited for it.
I loved
Yeah.
the first one, so I'm
It was,
excited.
Yeah.
Hades was kind of the last roguelike I really got into before I was just like, I can't do roguelites anymore.
Yeah, I
It's the
haven't
only one I got
touched
too.
it since
But Supermassive's pretty
January
good.
6th.
Yeah, we tried to
When
play
we
it on
tried to
fucking Game Worms and January 6th happened.
we
That
were like,
is-
what's so I was like, I gotta go, guys. There's something going on in Washington. We were looking into it. Like, I was like, all right, I think I don't.
I wish I was a little more disconnected to have really enjoyed that day, but I wasn't. Like me and you both were just like quiet suddenly. Like
Well,
this is
I
it.
think
It's the end of the world. It's
well,
the end of
I-
democracy as we know it.
I didn't necessarily think that, but I did not. I was like,
It's
we
not a
have
fun
only-
thing to
This is
be,
like the
like-
third time we've ever tried to stream. I don't really have like confidence that I'm not like fucking gonna Hassan out here. Like, here's what I think. All right, everybody, like opening up 3 different windows to lay it all out.
Folks, check this out while you're still playing Hades.
Yeah, well, as I'm doing, I'm like, well, you think what we have here is basically people are living in 2 different political states while occupying the same space. Reality divergence. All right, is it me? It's me.
Yes,
I think.
you.
It's you.
All right. Okay, so Planchette has recruited Doo-Doo.
Wait,
and
who's this
Felicity.
by? Who's this from?
Oh, thank you. This is by the disposable hero, Obsidian and Bone.
You'll never dispose
I need a
of this
hero.
I
Not,
disposed
not
of
this
mine.
one. Throw it away.
Ah. All right.
A disposable hero.
Very good. Okay, so Planchette has recruited Doo-Doo and Felicity to start up a DARE-style soul-drinking intervention for Visk. What is the slogan, and how convincing is it to Visk?
Hey,
So this would be sort of in the just say no vibe, I guess.
hey, that's a guy in there.
What?
There's
I
guys
nailed
in
it. I
there.
nailed it. I finished it.
Yeah.
No, but what if we did?
Do you think that about every creature you carnivores have eaten?
Shit.
Yeah, I got you there. This is on vegetarian.
All right.
You can't say that shit to me.
All right, well.
Gotcha.
I guess we got to close this down, Felicity.
This is real rich coming
I'm,
from
I'm
two
pulling
carnivals.
down the like big shutters to the store that front that says Skulltenders.
Yeah, it's over. It's like, oh no, internal narrative tension. Just show closed on account.
Oh, well.
On account of character shading.
Y'all want to go to the Sensatium and eat more people?
Yeah. I love it. That's the guy who likes to come along. You'll be seeing
Horatio
more of him.
Bothers.
Yeah, Horatio Love.
No, he's like this. He's a little different.
Hey guys, I found the maroon. Let's eat them.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah,
I got
you
no
know.
bones in here. It's easy to chew. It ain't come up, but I don't have any. I'm just noodling.
Ugh, boneless. Never mind.
What did dare stand for? Drugs.
Drug and resistance.
Resistance education.
Resistance.
Was it drug and alcohol resistance education? Maybe.
There it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Drug and alcohol resistance education. Boy, that didn't work at all.
No, because
no.
they told a lot of lies trying to do
was
scared
cops.
straight stuff.
Yeah.
But what that means is they've like done studies that actually meant that it was like worse than getting no information.
Yeah.
Because they
Once you
mixed in a
realize
bunch
it's
of
lie.
lies.
Yeah.
So that's like it wasn't like, hey, addictions can get out of hand without you realizing it. It was one, if you are downwind from coke, if marijuana is happening in your city, there's already a Call of Duty level strike happening, like aerial strike that is coming to destroy your life.
Everyone from Fortnite's going to be disappointed into you.
Also, we're not really going to focus on the alcohol part because this is America in
No.
the 90s and all of your parents drank.
Yeah,
So,
that A never stood for alcohol. I don't know what you're
No,
talking
they
about.
never talked about that.
They were erasing it from the poster.
Yeah, a cop is
Something-
going to tell you not to drink.
Yeah, right. Something I found upsetting, in addition to all this stuff, you know the mascot for Dare is this lion.
Yes.
Do you know the lion's name?
No.
I don't.
I feel like it should be Leo, because he's a lion. It's
Yeah.
short for law enforcement officer. His name should be fucking Leo.
That's pretty
His name
good.
is fucking Darren.
Darren.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
hey, you were right, Casey. It's drug abuse resistance education.
Abuse.
Okay, there you go.
Darren. I wouldn't take any advice
Darren.
from a Darren.
Darren.
Hey,
Fuck
Darren.
off with that.
Sorry,
Cops
Donna.
aren't even good at branding. The pun was right there, and they didn't go with Leo. I'm mad.
No.
at
we
By the way,
Yeah.
if you're a Darren listening to this, sorry.
Can we get that McGruff the Crime Dog cameo on the stream?
Hell
Ooh.
yeah.
Me
Yeah.
and McGruff the Crime Dog are mutuals on Twitter. I could reach out.
Please do.
I was just about to check to see how much Rule 34 there was of Darren.
Him and McGruff, baby.
McGruff, I can see. Darren, I just like. I wonder if there's anyone who's aware of that. Let's see.
Why did they go with a Columbo guy?
Because it's easier to trade on affinity for an existing character than try to
didn't really-
establish your own.
Yeah.
Didn't occur to me that's just Columbo, but a dog.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a persona of Columbo.
And he's also he's sort of doing a Humphrey Bogart thing with the hat.
Yeah, I guess so. A little bit of hard-boiled, general hard-boiled.
Yeah.
There are too many Darrens on Rule 34.
A lot of bewitched porn out there.
No. No, you guys are very
Anyway.
all right, I'll turn this off.
Another question, our final question from the Discord, at least from Paul once more. Hello.
I think this is a different Paul.
This is a different Paul. This is Paul
Oh,
loves to
Paul.
laugh.
This Paul
Yeah, yeah.
loves to
We have-
laugh.
We have two Pauls.
It's actually
My God.
I'm looking at the email and it is the same Paul.
I know it is the same.
My
It's a different name.
God, I'm right. There could only be one.
Damn it, Paul. Just
Paul Bearer.
Paul Bearer. Are there any other specific genres of dark comedy besides gallows humor? I don't know.
Is there a difference in name? It just seems like you're changing the adjective, but
I think
essentially
it's
it's
like
the
dark
same.
comedy, gallows humor, black comedy. I feel like they're a little wishy-washy interchangeable, you know?
Yeah, like what differentiates gallows humor to black
I
comedy?
feel like gallows humor is like if somebody's doing gallows humor, it's like, haha, I'm going to die. You know what I mean?
I feel like
I feel like
gallows
gallows
humor
humor
is
is like it's made to handle something that you are going through. You know what I mean?
What would you
I
call?
feel like it's also it's to cope in a bad situation too. Like I feel like doctors use gallows humor and stuff like that too. You know,
Sure.
People in
Cops.
in jobs that deal with death a lot. You know.
Okay. Whereas the black comedy is more like a fish called Wanda, where it's about killing a guy, or Death to Smoochie, which is about killing a guy.
One of the best jokes I think was ever made by a human was gallows humor. It was made by a guy named James French when he was being executed. He was on death row.
It's already funny. It's already funny.
He was prepared to return to death row. He leaned over to say, "If I were covering my execution, do you know what I'd say in the newspaper headline?" So I said, "What?" And he said, "French fries. See ya." And the
Yeah.
it's like, God,
Good zinger like that gets you instantly into heaven. I don't know if
I've
that's in the
specifically
Bible.
never looked
That's in
up
the
what this
Bible.
guy did to get executed because
Doesn't
I
matter.
enjoyed the joke too much. It's
Zinger
I
like
don't wanna know.
that. Zinger like that gets you into heaven.
Yes.
Exonerate him.
Like political cartoon of like the guy coming up like
Pretty good. He's high fives Saint Peter as he
Saint
goes
Peter.
in.
his like coat is full of like skinned babies. It's like, wow, shit.
I didn't see it.
Good one.
I didn't see it.
More questions surrounding that question. What is so funny about the macabre and existential horror? I guess if you can't beat them, join them. Sort of the element to
Tragedy
it.
and comedy or tragedy
Same
and comedy,
coin.
same thing.
Yeah.
It's all just how we handle shit.
Yeah.
It's the absurd.
And,
Sartre
and do you have a
said-
favorite
Sartre-
example?
I really, I mean, that old Smiling Friends is great. It's a lot of that. There's a lot of like pretty bleak stuff.
The first episode where they walk into Desmond's room and like you assume it's going to be a child and he's like a full-grown middle-aged man in his underwear with a revolver to his head.
that's the
And,
whole
like that's
first
his
episode.
character is he always has his gun just right
Yeah, he always
here,
has a revolver
even
and
as
his
they're
fingers
walking
on the trigger.
around.
Yeah.
Don't hug me. I'm scared.
Make me feel better. That's a good
Yeah.
one. Existential
Also-
horror, understanding your life. I watched the finale of the series again the other day, and I was like, man, what a good just like the last bit of him shredding the book. Oh man.
So I've been gearing up for a rewatch, but it's a big, it's a lot. It's a lot because
It's a lot,
like-
but it's good.
yeah.
I don't know. What's funny about it is I think Jess got on the nose. If you can't beat him, join him. You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of like the Lovecraftian idea of like madness, but like it doesn't have to be bad. You can have a good time. Look at the Mad Hatter.
Yeah, he was
seemed-
dying of lead poisoning. Yeah.
He seemed fine.
yeah. Or lead or mercury. It was something. It was something they put
One
in
of
hats.
those. Yeah.
He had too much tea, is all.
I like the idea that they were need to use a lot of mercury in hats. Like it's like super fucking bad.
We got to get these hats
gotta-
just right.
It's so shiny.
We put it in the band so that it adjusts based on your head's the temperature of your
Yeah,
head.
and there's
And then it's
there's-
right
yeah.
next to your fucking
And then
temple and just
it
seeping
boils, and then it just goes right into the pores of your hair.
I gotta do a
Perfect.
crazy hat guy. Okay, I'm just writing down crazy hat
Crazy
bad
hat.
guy.
Crazy.
Well, I mean, isn't that the Hat Man from Ambien?
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
Hatman-
Oh, suddenly
is
this
Hatman
isn't a
from- I
safe
think the Hatman's
space.
from taking DPH.
I've seen the
I've heard
Hat
it's
Man.
Ambien.
I'm pretty sure the Hatman's from taking dissociatives.
I don't know.
Not
The Hat- I think
dissociatives,
the Hat Man's Ambien. It's
deliriums. Like if you take too much Benadryl, you have hallucinations where there's spiders all over you and stuff. The Hatman's common. I think that's where the Hatman was established, but he's probably drifted into other. Once it's in the public consciousness and go into anything, because people just have to imagine it in their head, and then drugs make them think it's real.
Is the Babadook based off the Hat Man?
I think that I don't
he's got a
know if
real
the
prominent
Hatman
hat.
meme-
I think the
that-
Babadook is based on fucking up your levels when you're editing the movie, and then so some things are really loud.
It's based off of using that fucking Crash Bandicoot dinosaur noise during the climax of the movie and taking me out of everything because I heard that pterodactyl from level 7.
The animals. The animals of the first Avatar, the horses and stuff, just use the sound effects of the velociraptors from Jurassic Park, and I'm like, you can't, that's
can't.
in deep.
I recognize him.
You can't be opening that up.
Babadook be like, "Rah!"
Because the
I know
Babadook
that
wears
guy.
a hat. Sorry, I just got that, Amber.
Yeah,
It
he's
took
got
me
a
that
hat.
long for the horse to cross the finish line.
Back to the horse.
got there.
Anyway,
I got the.
we got more questions.
Yeah, I got the next document. I dropped it in the side chat. Mine doesn't look as nice as Jess's because she's better at computers, but I did make some word art and a 3D cube on the page.
It's
so that you
beautiful.
know how I know how to do computers a little bit.
Yeah,
Very
that
good.
Cube.
Thank you.
It's got pizzazz where mine doesn't. Mine is too functional, no form.
Skulltalkers.
All right.
So-
Ironic because it is a form.
Wait, who's up next then? I forgot.
Yeah, I just closed it, so I don't know who has the last.
Yeah.
Who was asking the last question?
I think Amber's next.
Yeah, I'm
'cause
happy
I
to
went,
go
yeah.
either way.
All right.
Listen,
go ahead.
Ashton, Florida.
We just did a little talk behind the scenes, so that might be a place to do some cuts.
Do you want to count it off so that we can all do that?
Oh no, I was just putting an edit point in to be like, oh, we did some riffing and we were transitioning from one to the other here. It was just a place.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Sure.
I did that earlier when we had a.
And if we didn't take it out, enjoy the little applause for you, listener, for listening.
That's
this long.
right.
Yeah.
Listen,
you.
Ashton, Florida. Noontown patron ask, "Hi, gang. Some questions for you to answer. 1, what is your favorite book, and what would your character's favorite book be?" Cohen, you're the reader.
Too bad I'm illiterate.
Oh boy.
Casey's favorite book is Confederacy of Dunces. My character's favorite book is Uncle John's Bathroom Reader. Any.
That stands, yeah.
Any.
You almost said Uncle Tom.
I know what
and I was like, whoa, wait, huh?
It's a really racist one, but it has some interesting info nonetheless. But no, the Uncle John's one.
There's a bunch of other stuff I should probably say, but my favorite book is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. It's really, really funny. It's about this. It's really funny and like really beautiful and like it does a lot of different stuff. It's about this guy in the late 80s. He's in his like very early 20s who moves from California to he like transfers to a very small private liberal arts university that in like New England that has like, and it's based on like a real one. It's largely based on like Donna Tartt's own experiences, but it has this like just this really like fucked up ancient Greek program that he joins, and it's just like 4 or 5 people, and it's a very good book to read if you've found yourself getting sucked into scenes a lot and like being like, these people are great and nothing could ever go wrong. It's a good one to it's a good one for that. It's also just super funny. She also did The Goldfinch, which got but I guess that was like 10 years ago. I like Donna Tartt a lot because she writes a book and then she goes away for 10 years to write another book and comes back and there's like, here's another really good book. So Secret History is good. If we're taking it down a little bit to like genre stuff, I really like. I cannot too heavily recommend the Expanse books. They're very good. They go like popcorn, but they are dealing with some really neat themes. They're on the more, I would say, the more realistic side of like the whole hope punk genre that kind of infected sci-fi. Infected is judgmental, but you know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying. If you don't, who gives a shit? The mayor loves Dickens. He's a big Dickens head. He really likes Great Expectations and also Christmas Carol, which you might have a chance to read. But Great Expectations is I think is just an extremely funny book if you read it right. The thing about Dickens is people hate Dickens because they sit down and try to read the whole thing at once. But they were written to come out. You were supposed to have it's supposed to have been a few weeks before you read one of these, so they're pretty dense with like jokes.
Imagine
and
it
themes.
like Shonen Jump.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you can read it like this if you're feeling it, go for it, but don't give yourself some time between those because people were reading them. It's like trying to sit down and read like a whole book of like Dave Barry essays. And it's like or what, take your favorite comedy columnist. I'm going to not get off on that tangent because I'll be here all day. But it's just like, it's good if you give yourself some time to let things percolate. Think about. Yeah.
I should read more Dickens because I read A Christmas Carol a little bit before we had the idea to do the mayor reading the Christmas Carol thing as a bonus thing, and I was really like surprised at how like genuinely funny it was and really charming and like easy it was to read. I always had this idea in my head because of school reading assignments that old people from ye old days wrote like assholes and they're hard to read. And
Dickens
they don't speak
was pop
modern
culture.
English.
People loved it.
Yeah.
Like he was very popular. Same as Shakespeare. It's like he made
Dickens,
stuff that people liked.
Genuinely enjoyable, genuinely funny, well paced, interesting and enjoyable. light stuff, honestly. I should read the other things that are not a Christmas Carol. Christmas Carol is fucking lovely. My actual favorite book that's coming to mind is a nerd-ass book. It's The Design of Everyday Things by Don Norman.
Oh, I read this as well. I really enjoyed it.
I love that book. That book rules.
There you go.
It's a cognitive scientist and usability engineer just talking about how things are made so that you just kind of naturally use them as humans. And if they are made stupid, then that's not on you. That is a design issue. That's not a psychology issue. Don't victim blame people who don't know that push doors pull.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
That's a
You
book
know?
that really affected the way I look at things. Like, even just like, you know, when you're advertising, like when we were launching Skulltenders, it's like, okay, what's the least amount of clicks I can make it to get to the people where we need to?
Yeah,
What's the
yeah,
least amount of
yeah.
friction I can generate in creating like an onboarding experience for these new people? And it's like all the stuff I learned from reading that book.
It's
Yeah, and like I read it because my boss recommended it, and it was actually a good recommendation. But this is my boss at the escape room, because this is how you design escape rooms: is what is the most clear, easiest, foolproofingest way, the most intuitive way to design something so someone doesn't break it. And it was really interesting, and it's also a good book to read if you are afraid of flying, because it talks a lot about airline safety and how many incredible amounts of tweaks have been made over the entire history of aviation to make it so that this is so fucking safe. It's ridiculous in there. Like it's a miracle.
yeah.
I hope Boeing still reads that book.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
like,
right?
immediately.
Assholes.
I'm saying this as a man who had 2 flights canceled on him in the past week due to question mark.
I had
Dude,
one of
good
those.
question
I had
mark.
one of those around Christmas stuff. It's like mechanical stuff. We're gonna have to put you on a later flight. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna.
I
Okay,
found
that's okay.
I found a website that lets you actually. I have to fucking find. I'm so sorry. I don't know off the top of my head. Sorry, listener. I found a website that lets you, in addition to like search for flights, it lets you choose what make and model the plane is, so you can click off Boeing.
In a functional society, you should not have to know that.
I should not have to do this
That
or
should
know
not be
this,
a
but I
responsible
found the website.
Yep,
But
it's-
yeah,
So I went to Finland on not a Boeing, and I felt pretty okay about that decision.
Oh yeah. It's the speaking in terms of like the design of everyday things. That says so much. And what Amber's talking about with like needing to think about like least amount of clicks. That's so much about when it comes to like making a story. Is when you're making anything, it is very easy to picture the idealized person engaging with it, who is kind of a reflection of you saying, wow, that's great. I get like I immediately make all the intuitive leaps that are necessary for this to make sense. I remember everything that has been told to me once, but it's like you gotta hit beats over and over again. That's what I got. Emma, do you want to hop in? Do you got one? You got what's good? Felicity.
Yeah. No, I don't have anything for that.
Okay.
I also don't know what Visk would like. Would Visk be one of those
This-
tedious
Felicity just-
fuckers
Felicity-
that likes Infinite Jest or something? I don't know what Infinite Jest is.
Felicity, if you started reading books, only started reading books that weren't written by her in the last couple of months, because her time is really limited, and then one of the most useful things she could do is reread her journals to remember things she forgot. So I'd imagine she wouldn't do something that is that takes quite a bit of time, like reading a book, that isn't going to help her not dissolve into nothingness before she was a Skulltender.
Is there any podcasts in Skulltenders world? Can it
There's
be
one,
like,
only
is
Dude to
there-
the Owl gets it probably.
Yeah. Dude is
like necromantic radios.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, but he's a rogue. He's I and
Rogue.
apostrophe.
And Joe Rogan.
And he looks
Yeah. He's Rogan.
and he's a kangaroo.
Oh yeah.
It's Joey.
Oh, it's good.
All right, do we have some more questions from Liz and Ash in Florida?
I guess we can cut it up if you don't mind.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
for
let's
Liz and Ash, I'll ask once more. This is for Doodoo, so yay for me. Is Doodoo pro or anti-recreational vehicle? We know he loves his van, but what's his opinion on the road beasts that are various classes of RV? What would be in his dream RV? I got no problem. I don't think Doodoo is pro recreational vehicle, 100%.
He's pro recreation and pro vehicles.
Yeah,
Why
it
not
makes
both?
perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the road beasts that are various classes of RV, I think he thinks they're the beautiful creatures and would love to own one day. But he does respect it, which is very different than most people who have those types of beasts. He respects the beast. Whereas everyone else just, doesn't even think about the proper maintenance that probably has to go into a lot of maintenance. Probably has to go into like one of those huge ass ones that like fucking Clarence Thomas rolls around.
especially in Skulltenders, because there would need to be some kind of biological component making all that happen. There would be some kind of thing under the hood that is powering all that. And sorry,
would the hole in the forest that eats Dudu's poop, would he be the bathroom of the RV and would somehow be feeding into the engine of the RV to make it go?
Oh, a poop powered machine.
I was thinking maybe Dudu just wouldn't know how a normal bathroom works, and so he just cut a hole in the floor of the bathroom and go into that, and then
that's also more feasible.
There's a weird chair in here.
Yeah,
but I don't really
I'm
need.
thinking,
I don't really need this extra chair. And he picks up the toilet, and throws it right out.
Think of like an accidental symbiotic parasitic relationship, like how sharks have those little remora like things sucking on the bottom of them.
Oh yeah,
sure. I think Dudu and me personally would love not one of those beasts. They're majestic, but they take a lot of time. Like he respects that. But like I have some friends who have had like smaller home RVs for like maybe 3 people, 2 adults and like their child or whatever. And that seems like that would be kind of nice and like homey, like a big van, like a big, not even a minivan, but like a van that just has a lot of like, those extra seats in the middle that are like little commander chairs, like you're in fucking Star Trek or whatever, and then a nice big back seat to chill out in. I think that's all Dudu would want. The van, unfortunately, Dudu's van is more like a shitty white van that just has the 2 shitty seats up front and then nothing in the back except like a beanbag chair, maybe a rolly chair that just rolls too much, causes too much issues as he rolls around.
So he's got a rolly chair in the back seat of his van. It's like from an office.
Yeah, he just works with what you got. I say that because a friend had that too. A friend had like a shitty white van that had no seats in the back, and so he just put like a fucking rolly chair.
It's fun to hang out in those. It's fun to drive around.
When we had a third person,
yeah.
they would just hold on to like us on the front seats, and then just sort of like keep themselves like from moving back too much as the car. But he didn't drive very fast because it was a shitty old van.
I just feel like
my dad's work van was like that.
Say again, Colin?
You could take the wheels off, and then it's just a seat. It's not.
Well, then it's still gonna slide a little bit.
It's gonna slide less than with wheels,
and it's gonna be not as fun.
I get it.
It's
Look,
fun.
Look, man, I used to drive. I had a car where nothing worked, and I had the stereo didn't work. Whatever. I just had a boombox. I just had a boombox with my iPod running into iPod. Running into one of those tapes that went into the top of the boombox, and that was just sitting in the fucking passenger seat. That is the 19-year-old shit. Yeah.
Same hat.
Hell yeah.
I was like 7 years old, like hanging out in the back of my dad's work van, being like, "Can I like not be in one of the seats? This is fun." Like just like trying to keep my balance, like I was subway surfing. It's
just rolling around. Yay!
Yay!
I loved to sit in the back of a minivan or a 4Runner or whatever. Not super safe in retrospect, but a hoot for me. All right. Okay.
This third question from Liz and Ash. Excuse me.
All right. This is Jess.
It's you.
No, it's me. My mistake.
Sorry.
Okay. What hobbies are y'all messing with IRL right now? Any newfound nerding you want to share? I am nearing the end of about the end as far as I'm gonna go in Animal Well. I'm given to understand that there's even more past like the 3rd layer that I'm hitting.
That's just a video game.
What's that?
That's just video game. That like when it comes to talking about these hobbies, this is like all encompassing video game. We're talking about like whittling.
Yeah. I'm putting I've been playing some games. I like to go for long walks. I would say that's the thing. I've been getting into playing games that aren't that don't have as many checklists. I've been playing, or at least not engaging with that, like what do you call them? Those Uncharted. I've been having fun. I've been playing those for the first time. I have like a collection that came with my fucking PS4 I'd never touched, but
those are solid.
Yeah,
Nice.
I
Happy
like
for you.
I like a story that goes and then it's boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, and it's done. And there's not really a mechanism within the game that encourages me to spend.
They're fun romps.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I would say that's really all I've been fucking with lately. Anybody else? Nerdy hobbies? Looking at you, Jess.
I don't
this
think
one
nerdy. I've been
called-
getting back into working out. It's been really nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I've been getting into D&D lately.
Oh yeah.
it's pretty cool.
I'm walking a lot more because there's stuff to walk to in Finland, and it's like really nice weather because it's like start of midsummer. It's beautiful out. Nature's nice. It turns out actually. Like I just like did some day drinking and hung out on a real nice rock somewhere.
What?
And like looked at the sky and was like, wow, there's like different birds here. And I like cried a little. I was like, wow, I feel so safe here. There's like way less guns.
Yeah.
And like some old Finnish guy came and asked me if I was okay. And like we became friends and he was nice.
That's wonderful.
Aw.
It was lovely. That's my new hobby, is just like trying to explore the neighborhood, trying to learn more about Finland so I don't seem like a fucking douche that doesn't know nothing about the place I moved to. I'd like to learn it, but it's like a harder language than like almost any other language, so I'm kind of fucked. I don't think I'm smart enough to learn it. But
Yeah, you'll
here's
be
hoping.
fine. I got
Gotta
faith.
try.
There's nothing like a new place to shake you out of a lot of your habits. It's nice. I just moved down the street couple of years ago, and it's like it was the difference of just moving like a few blocks, like really changed my perspective of like, because now I had to walk a little bit to get to the park that I lived on. It's like, oh, there's actually a bunch of stuff close to me. It's great. It's great to get to new places, and that's fun. I'm so happy for you, Jess.
Yeah, I hope it's and learning new snacks. Lots of new snacks over here. I'm excited for snacks.
Very good. All right, now it is Jess's turn.
Now it is my turn. A meat asks. I love your name. Thank you. A meat.
Alexander
folks,
Meat or Anna Meat.
Anime Meat asks, hey folks, quick question. If your characters, Cohen can pick whoever they voice, had to pick a gamer tag for the Xbox 360 in the mid to late 2000s, what would it be? Bonus points for what game they would have played the most? Well, that's difficult.
We can stick
me.
with gamer tag unless something leaps out at you. But what do we got? Anybody got one?
Felicity
I got some
managed
if you guys need a chance.
Felicity managed to secure the Xbox 360 gamer tag Master Chief.
God damn.
That's
Wow. You did it.
pretty good. That's a good one. And on the 360 too. Damn, that's like his home turf.
Yeah, it wasn't
That's
easy.
where-
I'll tell you what.
He lives on that.
Yeah. He tries to log on. What the hell? I don't know what he sounds like.
I think any joke.
Yeah.
I think any joke one I could come up with doo wouldn't be as like real as like him just accidentally putting his name in twice in the wrong thing, and so he would just be doo. And so that would be his like that's his gamer tag is like I'm doo.
It would fucking just be like Visk and like the year Visk was born. I think if there's a year for that, I don't know.
0001.
000.
That's very good. Okay, I've got some. The mayor is a skull emote with an admin tag.
How'd he get an emo?
He just
there
has
you
the
go.
skull. He just has like a skull, like from your phone, like a thing nobody else can do.
I know,
That's
but
good.
that's like
yeah.
wow.
Hazel is
Good.
top _ dog DAWG. He got it when he was still telling people he was a wolf, and now he's stuck with it because it has his achievements.
I love
Oh,
him.
his
Yeah.
Chivos.
We don't have
Dylan-
to jump
Aw.
too deep into the what games, but I'm just what games would either character have played, but I cannot really pull any big games at the 360 time other than
360's
I guess
hard,
Halo
yeah.
3 or whatever. You know, it would just have been Halo still maybe. There wasn't a Fortnite, there wasn't Destiny or anything
Skate.
like that. Skate.
Dude's
I
playing.
guess.
Dude's playing the skate where you get the skateboard.
Sure.
the one that like bankrupted that
Oh,
company.
I think
Skate
that
3,
there's
yeah.
no question that
Oh.
Dudu the Owl would have a Connect.
Yeah. Dude is
yeah.
the only person who got Project Milo. The that mechanical Turk flim
The
flam.
child.
Goddamn.
I was.
not
I
real
got
at
I had
all.
to connect for a half a second, being like, "This is kind of fun," and then I never fucking plugged it back in. It's stupid shit.
let's see.
trying to recreate the Wii. No, you can't do that. Xbox.
The PlayStation Eye, nobody wanted that either. Dylan's is Spicy Kill. Like Spicy Dill.
Good one.
Planchette doesn't play video games, and Ventura's is the _last _ the number one.
Very good.
And so it says
That's
like
good.
the last one kills, blah blah blah. And every
Kills,
time he's
yeah.
like, yes. But he never gets good at games because he keeps switching because he gets bored really quick and he wants to play a new game. So he doesn't get to see that very often because he's not that good.
His grandchildren keep putting new games in, and he doesn't know which one's coming.
His non-canonical.
His non-canonical grandchildren he wants to learn to play video games with.
Yeah, you'll hear about.
Check out the
those.
deleted scenes, which came out the day we're recording this for that ridiculous thing.
Oh, it did. Oh, we didn't.
Yeah,
promo
kinda
that.
Checking out, folks.
Oh,
Yeah.
so sorry. All right, well,
I don't know any tedious Xbox 360 games.
I mean,
I think that's supposed to be on the PC, but
It's near.
The original Nier?
It's the original Nier. Yep.
yeah,
By
maybe,
design
actually.
and artfully tedious on purpose. So it's not
I
a
guess-
criticism.
Yeah.
He did it. He uses that
Dra-
guy uses
Wait.
tedium.
Where was Drakengard? Was Drakengard 360?
Isn't that a?
remember.
I think it's.
It's not even older
I
than
think
that.
it was
PC?
PS2.
It might be PS2.
I guess people
Or
were
one
playing.
of the like PC ports that should not be ported over, of a PC game, like Civilization should not be on a controller. Like The Sims.
StarCraft 64.
StarCraft, yeah.
StarCraft 64. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, one of those, yeah.
It hits me at probably Team Fortress 2 was pretty big at that time because it just came out. We take that for granted that fucking old game just came out around that time. It hit me just like, what were people playing?
I can see TF2
Unrelated.
for Doodoo.
Yeah.
I can
No,
see
yeah,
that for
no.
sure. Yeah.
TF2 is goofy, like
Yeah.
in its funness. All right, who is next?
Amber next, I believe.
Amber.
All right. Tucker Woolley asks, "Hey y'all, Skulltender's been such a bomb in these weird and wild times. Thanks for doing what you do so well." Question is,
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you so much.
I love to balm.
Felicity and Doodoo have backstories prior to recording. Is it something Amber and KC and Cohen came up with together as the show went on? Here are pros and cons to either approach. The breadcrumbs we're getting so far are super interesting. I improv'd that in the first episode.
That was incredible.
That was
incredible. I had no fucking idea.
I was just kind of I was like, all right, we're getting to the episode part of this, right? We're getting to the introductions, and to expedite that transition from introduction to episode, I chose to have them know each other already because then we could choose to like en media res flesh that out over time instead of having to have them be introduced at that moment.
Extremely clever move.
Thank you.
Oh, their friendship. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
this person is also asking about if they had like individual backstories that we had kind of worked out.
Oh, okay.
Together.
Yeah. It's the stuff that you got from that Felicity got from the Word. Like that was all discussed in more before the show started, and is like building to a thing.
I'm pretty sure I had Doodoo stuff pretty fleshed out when we started, but it's very simple. Like a man named Jerry, raised him in a van. He was just an owl. He lived in
Born
a van.
from an egg.
Born from an egg somehow.
And human
Somehow.
legs. Human legs.
Human legs. I mean, human legs came after the first episode, but that was always like an idea of like, I'll give him human legs. That's funny because he wanted to double jump. That was his big goal in like season 1. But just like season 1 Homer Simpson, he's different than season 3, 4, etc.
Hey, let's go down to the Sensatium for some frosty chocolate milkshakes.
Frosty chocolate blowjobs. Sorry.
It's kind of so this is tricky because it's like I feel like an energy I brought was like, okay, nobody's gonna have like a super elaborate backstory, please. Was sort of, I think it's like mystery and we'll find it along the way, or vague really makes this kind of thing easier than if it was like, here's my thing. And I find that it like that's just me. That's just me, and I'm hoping that didn't stymie too much creativity.
Oh no.
no.
It
No,
was
no.
like Felicity ended up being much more amnesiac than we originally discussed.
And
changed
Doodoo's
a little bit of how it worked out, but that's fine. Like
Yeah.
the only
And I don't
sign
mind
I can think of
being-
that's left in the show of that was when we see the rhyme shell thing, and she goes, "Oh, it's a rhyme shell train. It doesn't look like a place they'd operate out of."
But we kind of kept like that. It's like, oh, there are things that Felicity knows in the way that because memory is interesting. Memory is like, if you lose memory, you don't lose it. You don't. It's not like you lose it in like a way that makes sense. In a way that like a logical or like fucking people with Alzheimer's, they lose their more recent memories first. And it's like it's peeling, like it's the stuff at the center that they hold the longest. But that's not the same for everybody. People with brain damage, brains are rebuilt. Brains and memories and all are fluid and all of that to say a lot of the stuff the world was not super. A lot of the fleshing, I make a joke in the first episode about how like the city is in fog and you can't see the whole thing, but it's like straight up, a lot of we found the flavor of Ghost Town along the way. Like a lot of this has been like, Felicity's got some kind of seems to have some sort of crime backstory. Okay, how do we integrate that with the world? How do we that means there's a world where there are things that are worth stealing. That means there is a world where there are various, it's all you figure it out, and then that builds the world, and the world reflects back. Or that's what I'm trying to do anyway, or we're all trying to do.
What's interesting is that we all know Rhyme Shell also.
I think it was like Apple. Yeah, it's
I
like
can't get away from him. I figured it like ultimately it made sense. It's like why I didn't bother like redubbing that part is because just like if this is as big a corporation as it is, buildings owned by this company must end up in Ghost Town sometimes.
Oh yeah,
like.
Mm-hmm.
And like Felicity has kept skills.
Yes, she has.
There's like a lot of
true.
skills. It's like and like there's like snatches of memories, little things coming back. It's a lot of it leaves us in a really good place to figure out that stuff along the road, which keeps us from being locked into like, oh, it needs to be like this because I know that I know that this character has these parents, and then that character they were involved with this. I found that kind of stuff is really good if you are working in let's say you're doing like a 5th edition campaign set in Waterdeep. Like then you can look and be like, oh, here's all the existing stuff. Oh, okay, I guess my guy is in this guild, and then you find it's easier when the world is already like up and running to a certain extent, but we're kind of spitballing it, and there's stuff. Part of it was me being nervous. Part of it was me like, oh God, there's stuff. If I give you guys, I didn't want to create a situation where you guys showed up with like a big backstory, and I was like, oh, here's 17 reasons why I have to change everything about that. And it seemed more fun to like, let's spend some time in the world before we figure out that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm. That's something that like I immediately had like personal trouble with because I have control issues, and I was like too autistic to be like, oh, we're collabing this much, huh? And like I don't know how much I'm allowed to grab for and stuff like that. So I like had a lot of like behind the scenes like I don't know what's happening. This character's different. I'm freaking out like moments, and I'm sorry about all that. I'm still learning, but it's like
I'll say it doesn't come through in your performance at all. I thought you did great in the early episode.
No,
good for me, honestly.
You have a very confident performance.
You
like,
do, I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good for me. But for people who didn't know, my character is originally like not going to be someone that lived in a building for 99 years and has never left before today.
Yeah, it was.
That was a surprise to me.
In the episode, yeah, that was an early me fucking up because I realized in the moment that I'd created a situation where your character was supposed to be very very knowledgeable of a place that I had not finished coming up with. And I was like, this is going to be, and then it was like, oh, this is going to be a problem forever because it's going to be like, oh, we're going to be in the moment. Jess is going to be like, I want to hang back to one of my cool haunts. And then I knew a guy and I'm like, ooh, I really don't want to do.
Why do you think I was going to play them like that?
I'm not saying you were going to.
Everyone from cities are cool. That's why.
That's true. I think people who live in cities are cool.
I was not going to play Visk like a fucking noir detective like Cohen keeps insisting. They were just going to be a brash New Yorker.
There's your next character.
I think those are cool. I think
your next character is Visk if they're a noir guy.
Yeah.
Noir. Oh, noir guy. Yeah, okay.
Gray Visk. All right. Who's up?
I believe I am, and I'll do the next Tucker Woolley question.
Okay.
Speaking of breadcrumbing, Cohen, The words gifts of information to the players was a great way of breadcrumbing revelations to everyone at a satisfying pace while still having it make narrative sense.
Thank you.
How do you manage the release of plot-relevant information like that? Has it been easier or harder to do that with the introduction of the game's side quest to visit all the chains that bind the spoiler tags Queen of Hell?
They know if they're a lunatic, in which case, I love you, madman. It's tricky because we're walking like I hope it's not going to ruin to say a lot of this stuff is okay. So the whole Wonder Sea arc was a way to be like, okay, I know we're going to do this quest. I know we're going to have these MacGuffins that we got to go out and get. How do we communicate that information? How is that information communicated in a way that isn't like, if the bad guys seem to be like active and up in the land of the living and doing stuff, why have they not already gotten these? Okay, they must be in a secret location. I have a vague idea. I don't want to say vague. I have every line in that poem is corresponds to an existing plan. So that was a lot of work because I sort of had to figure out what the general structure of the next however many episodes this takes, and they won't be. I will say they won't. It's not going to be the next 6 episodes. It's like knife. Like, get used to this quest. We're going to be in it for a little bit. But it's going to take us all over the place. Oh boy. The thing of like the information is layered in the poem is a way for me to be like, okay, well, when we get to actually going to that place and I know more about it, I can be like, oh, it unfolds, and spoiler, as you will see, in a handful of episodes. The cast doesn't even know this. There's a little mechanism that you may be clocked to here, Tucker. But yeah, that it sort of like forced me into a situation, and the Wonder Sea arc was a little bit me playing for time and giving a shot to one of these arcs to go get one of these might look like. Like, okay, what does it look like when we spend several episodes without being able to take a long rest? Are we able to manage continuity across? Like, how do we set up a quest so that there's an overarching goal, but it's still engaging even if you know that they're not going to get to it in the first episode? Like, I think like when I said for the Wonder Sea, it's a 3 nights thing. And I think by the end of the first episode, people, the attentive could figure out, we're going to spend 3 episodes here because each one seems to be a night. And I'm rambling a little bit. It's hard.
Oh, yeah, it all makes sense.
It's having a direction, but not having super clear in mind how it will get there allows for us to maintain that collaborative stuff. Like I know what the first one's going to be. I have like an idea of what it's going to be like. The farther it goes down, the more vague my plans for that particular knife are because it's farther in the future, because this story will shape and change, and like who emerges will be things are still a little fluid. But the mayor knows, and the mayor knows where everything is. The mayor has it all. I don't have to yet. Because I'm not as smart as the mayor.
Well, I thought the mayor stored that shit away so that he didn't have to have it.
Well, I mean, with the poem, the
knowledge in
the
him.
poem was written, and all this stuff is like it's like all of these have a fixed in universe have a fixed thing,
right?
But we are in a sort of quantum narrative state where the absolute details of later stuff. I think this is just like a good way to do stuff creatively. It's like
this is a really clever format to have. Because you're revealing information in a way that doesn't feel like a cop-out, because it feels like a lot of small pieces of different information that will culminate to something. It doesn't feel like you're writing yourself into a corner by being too specific. And it doesn't feel like you're doing a big cop-out by not telling us anything. And I think it's just like a really clever middle ground that you hit on by having some of these things in the poem feel a little more specific. Like, I have a theory about 1 or 2 of these. Mm-hmm. The other ones, I have no idea. We're going to figure that out. And I don't know, it's just a clever way to get around the fact that this is not pre-written.
Thank you. There's there's stuff that is set in stone, but
Not as much as you would think.
Yeah, it's like a constellation. It's like these are where these stars are, and the picture that we make out of that is a collaborative thing, and that'll be fun. And as we get closer, Al Minneapolis may show up, that kind of thing. It's like I have that written down as like, oh, we should do something with Al Minneapolis. Like
doesn't have to, but okay, let's have fun.
It's fun. Yeah, it's like that's so much stuff in the show that I have docs of like you guys make a throwaway joke and then I'm like, oh, well, we're gonna do something with that because we're in this for the long haul at least a little bit. We got a big story to tell here. Maybe I want to see what happens when a show actually. I want to see what happens when characters go past level 12 in a podcast. I want to see what that looks like. Anyway,
I hope that everyone in Owl Minneapolis pronounces it the way that Doodoo did, like Owl Minneapolis. And if you pronounce it differently, they know you're a tourist.
Oh, yeah,
you don't have the right accent.
Did you
imagining...
pronounce it that way? Sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead. Mine's not important.
I think it was a joke to be like, we can replace this later.
That's what I figured.
It's not as good a name as Owl Minneapolis.
Hey kids, it's me, Krusty. This is my good friend, Mr. Black.
Yeah, but you couldn't think of anything funnier than Al Minneapolis.
Yeah. No, nothing is gonna be funny.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it always works. It's just like, I don't know, Owl Minneapolis. Uh-oh, shit.
Yeah, picking like a mid-sized city for that was really good.
Minneapolis, fuck.
I've never been to Minneapolis. I don't fucking know.
That was such a random pull.
I know, that's why it's so good.
I thought you'd been to that airport a bunch.
I was thinking of like maybe like what's a good Midwestern city, like a true Midwestern city. I'm from Oklahoma, but like
Indianapolis.
I feel like more north is like that's where the true Midwest is, like Wisconsin and Minneapolis.
Oh yeah, Salt Lake City, Madison, Salt Lake City.
It also comes down to what's kind of funny to say.
Minneapolis is funny.
Minneapolis
it rolls
like
off really
cellar
well.
door. Yeah.
Lake Titicaca. Yeah.
Cucamonga.
Yeah.
Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Who's up? I'm bad at that part.
I think it's you.
Oh, okay. For KC, would you ever do a comic adaptation and or side story for Skulltenders?
No.
Okay. Moving on.
I mean,
you did the zines, which is already an adaptation of like the first couple minutes of Skulltenders.
Yeah, I did the zines, so that's there. It just be it would be down to like if Cohen would be interested in it too, because like this is a collaborative thing, but this is like your baby in a weird way.
No. This is all of us. I'm not. This very much. Everybody's got a hand on the wheel. The only reason I'm particular about like, oh, it needs to be like this is like there needs to be somebody doing that to keep it from being Calvin Ball. But like I try to be open.
Yeah, and I don't mind work to work with you in that way if we ever did. But it's also very time consuming to do comics, to write a story, to draw the story, to ink the story, to color the story, to type and make sure you don't your mild dyslexia doesn't show up again.
Yeah, we collaborated a little bit on that. I did a proof to Pinocchio.
Yeah, you helped me with my Pinocchio to make sure I didn't. It's not like whatever I have, brain fart, whatever.
I love poofing.
It's like sometimes I think of a word and then I don't type it. Like I do that for articles like the or an.
Oh yeah,
or something like that. I just forget I do that. Sometimes I type it twice because I don't pay attention. I read too quickly, and I get I get the gist of a paragraph without actually being like, oh, I spelled that stupidly, or there's two these next to each other.
But you also do that for a joke a lot. Like so that was like that
true.
It's
makes
tricky.
makes it even harder for me and anyone else to guess, because if I do find it and I go, that's kind of funny when I say it like that, but then it's like I'm hoisted by my own petard. I think quite literally when I start to like develop like whatever brain issues my mother and her grandmother had before us, where it's just like, wow, I could see a little bit of Elsie in me. Oh boy. Oh well, maybe I'll be happy at least.
Moving on.
I think we. If you want to look for a comic adaptation of Skulltenders in the meantime, check out the Doo-Doo Doodles on the Discord. Casey does drawings the entire time we are playing. Jess does some of these too. Casey does an enormous volume of them, of drawings as we are playing. No, I love it. It's
cracked open a cold one. So
I love that too. But it's very fun there, and you can look at them while you listen to the episode because they actually are often just reacting to what is happening in the episode, so they kind of follow So you could do like a very slow motion comic if you wanted, or like it's kind of like like there would be like 8 illustrations, again going back to Dickens, and like the whole thing you would get like 8 woodcuts and the whole thing, and those were the only images you got of what everybody looked like.
Like Space Ghost Coast to Coast. They only made like like early William Street, even like Aqua Teen, where they just made like cutouts and then would just use them like puppets in a weird way.
Yeah. There's a reason Meatwad always turns into a fucking igloo or
a hot dog. That's all they made.
Hot dog.
Or a hot dog.
And you can also check out the zine that we aforementioned previously on the Patreon. That's there.
It's on the Patreon.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Criminal. I found a criminal.
A cat is here.
Which one?
Mine is sad.
I don't know, but he
was
trying to jump on.
It's probably Hajime, because Hajime's the one that he's always yelling at whenever we're recording.
Well, it could be. Well, Hajime likes being near me, but Awari's been a little bit stinkier lately, and they're just getting too close to my goddamn keyboard, and I'm like, come on, how many times do I got to squirt you in the ass?
Tobias R asks, how many times do I got to squirt you in the ass? Hey, I just have a question about Visk's character, so it's great that I'm reading it. Is Visk a sociopath? I realized that considering Visk is basically like not raised at all, so their moral compass would be a bit dented at best, I assume. I think...
Wait, before we get started, I want to say I cut this one out and stuck it in a speech bubble below Felicity, posted it into our private Discord to each other.
Is Visk a sociopath?
Like Felicity couldn't even figure that out. Like, is he?
What is this? I would say that no. I would say that no, because I feel like sociopaths need some sort of knowledge that they are bucking a social rule. They just don't care about the rule. They know about it. And I feel like
sociopaths
are manipulative on purpose in some sort of fashion, and also psychopaths are manipulative more on purpose, and sociopaths don't realize they're doing it as much, but don't mind it and don't have remorse or any of that sort of depends on your. I'm not a psychologist.
Sociopaths act purely out of self-interest, and sometimes that self-interest, the really good ones, causes them to disguise the fact that they are sociopaths. It's like crime. It's like the sociopaths you know about are the bad ones. Mm-hmm. For the most part, like the ones who are really good at it, you would never suspect. They might even have like a successful D&D podcast, and you'd never know.
That's true. Well, it's like
I don't think
it's like Visk. Syrup reads your mind because Syrup doesn't care how you feel about it. They want access to that information, and it's the simplest way to do it.
Yeah,
Visk does not understand that is a thing that is extremely invasive to do, because they can understand the concept of privacy.
But you did it anyway, just to see. And that's a little sociopath. like a kid.
Yeah, but they didn't know it was wrong.
The mayor told you.
Neither does a kid.
The mayor told you.
Neither does a kid who pulls the wings off an insects. Not the wings off, pulling wings off of insects just to be like, I wonder what happens if I do that to a fly or whatever. Kid doesn't know that's wrong.
Which is why we have parents to correct that behavior and tell us that's fucked up. Don't do that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's why.
And then you realize, I do feel bad about that. I didn't realize I should be feeling bad about that.
Or the parent makes it worse.
The remorse lies.
Yeah.
Or the parent makes it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's brain problems.
Maybe the parent
obviously
hits you to make it to really get really confusing. That's bleak.
The mayor would never do that to me.
Yeah.
I don't think Visk is a sociopath in the way that we talk about it.
No, I think that Visk's main arc, in fact, is them grappling with learning how to interact with other people and what morality might mean. As opposed to
and that's gonna take time.
Exactly.
It's gonna take mistakes to correct and realize what was wrong about those mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, it's an iterative process. I mean, I think of Visk's psychology very much like somebody who grew up in a cult or something. Like they wouldn't know that that's not normal.
Sure, and I think that kind of the low level sociopathy is apparent in a lot of people at an early age, and then it's kind of taught out of
children are very greedy little creatures, and Visk is kind of basically, emotionally a fucking kid doesn't know what this is.
Yeah,
When I
babies
was-
are real sociopaths.
When I was when I was 8 years old, I asked my dad why they didn't sterilize people who were genetically imperfect. And my dad explained to me, well, Cohen, that was actually what they did in the Holocaust, and like explained, like, you see, here's the problem, which is, I was an 8-year-old. I was like 20 years away from my diagnosis, but I was like, it was the like, oh, people have problems. Here's a way we could prevent people from having problems. And it's like, fortunately, I had someone right there to tell me, like,
As an undiagnosed autistic who grew up with a very disabled diagnosed autistic, boy, did I not learn eugenics was bad till later than that.
oh boy.
Whoa. You know, so my parents canceled me, and so here I am.
It's hard because it's like
You're
a lot
supposed
of
to
it
get
is,
canceled by your parents. That's what they're there to do.
yeah. Well, a lot of
Thankfully.
stuff. If you're looking for solutions when you're a kid, sometimes you stumble across the final one by mistake. You know? It's all right.
Grim.
Yeah, no, it's
Our last.
Now that's
Look,
gallows. Now that's gallows.
yeah, there you
gallows
go.
humor.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yo, all right.
Now you're,
Ew.
I believe the
last
next
question.
one is for me, or it's me now to ask it from Ungiraffe and Giraffe. Ungiraffe asks, when I'm listening to the show in my mind, I'm rotating the 3D cube. I imagine it looking like a painted backdrops from Curse of Monkey Island.
Ooh.
Since you are all documented adventure game likers, true. What would you have the Skulltenders adventure game be? FMV, Scum, whatever the Neverhood was.
So
Whatever the Neverhood was, except not made by a piece of
I
shit.
love the
Yeah.
Neverhood.
No politics.
Mine would
Doug.
have to be
No politics. Dog.
There was a company called Adventure Soft. It also went by Horror Soft that made DOS games. They made both of the Elvira games and also a game called Waxworks, which are very interesting horror adventure games with an extremely convoluted combat system that nobody knows how to do. That's what
Were
I'm
those
imagining.
FMV? Were those FMV?
They
Like
were not
Harvester?
FMV. They're this gorgeous big pixel art. Honestly, like look up Horrorsoft Waxworks or Horrorsoft Elvira, and you'll see some of my favorite pixel art of all time. The closest modern example is like World of Horror. Looks very similar.
I just had a really funny idea. I just had an idea.
What?
Okay.
What's up?
Okay. It's Skulltenders is you switch between the three characters like in this is very ambitious and I can do this because I don't have to make it. But you switch between the three characters like Day of the Tentacle, but when you're playing as Visk, it's a first person perspective thing like Myst. When you're playing as Doodoo, it is like Day of the Tentacle, Mansion Goofiness, and like that kind of stuff. And when you were playing as Felicity, it is like it is an FMV horror, like splattery horror kind of stuff. You know, there's Phantasmagoria,
Yeah.
the Harvester. Yeah, those are the three things. Like you have to switch between the three of them to solve stuff, and you see the other two when you are in it, but you see them as like Doodoo just sees like Visk and Felicity as like, you know, Tim Schafer-y pixel cartoons, but like Felicity. Well, I guess like Felicity and that'd be good. Felicity and Visk are both seeing different styles of FMV people.
That's
It's
good.
very ambitious, but I like that idea.
is a good
I'm
one.
looking at this.
I have a
Waxworks.
pun.
I like
It's-
this.
That's the pun.
It's Vist.
Vist,
very good.
Vist.
Vist.
Oh fuck, that's really good.
There you go. I want, because I just think Ghost Town would look really cute in the style of Crow Country, just having those kind of like really those backgrounds that just kind of look good from any angle. They look like a pre-rendered background from like Final Fantasy VII from any angle that you rotate the camera at. It's just like really, really good looking pixel art. I would love to just see Ghost Town looking like that. And I just think my other option would be a game that's not out yet. It's by Digital Tchotchkes. It's coming out Q3 2024. It's called Elation for the Wonderbox 6000. It is a first-person claymation adventure game.
This
And
thing, yeah, I'm
It
excited
is
about
extremely
this. Yeah.
fucked up, weird looking, and I just want to see like ghosts and necromantic
Oh, this is
freakos
cool.
in this like blobby clay style that's very like kind of it's like the Neverhood but like more haunted.
There's definitely
That's how the
Hylix.
what's that RPG? Yeah, Hylix.
I was
And
about to say,
a
there's
lot
definitely
of
some
indie
Hylix
games.
in
Yeah.
Ghost
A lot
Town,
of
for
a
sure.
lot of itch.io great weirdos.
The Psychic Waste. The
that.
Psychic
Yeah.
Waste look like Hylix, and then
Oh,
Ghost
yeah.
Town looks
Yeah.
like Crow
Yeah.
Country, and then you get out to the Psychic Waste, and things are all like
Yeah, like a Yames
freaky.
game or something.
I feel like if anything, games should feel more tactile compared
Yeah.
to how soft and smooth AI is turning into things, and the use of it, and not even AI, regular fucking AAA or quadruple A games.
at a certain
Whatever
at a
you want to
certain
fucking call
budget. As visual fidelity goes up, so too does the budget. And as the budget goes up, you have more and more people who are making sure that nothing interesting happens. I think we are ready to. I think we're going to wrap it up, though. Let's all say goodbye. We're going to start with Amber and then go in alphabetical order.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. It's been such a treat. The next season will be out in, 2 weeks?
2 weeks from when you listen to this,
Yeah,
I'm
very,
talking
very
about.
excited.
Yeah, that's
And thank
right.
you
That's right.
Unless I fuck up.
Yeah, but I have faith in you.
Yeah.
Nah,
Then it's on me, so you can
Yeah,
blame
exactly.
nah,
me.
you won't fuck up.
But this has been just such a privilege and a treat of a project so far. Thank you to all of my collaborators, and thank you to everybody who's listening.
Ah,
You all
excellent.
have a great evening.
Wonderful. All right, yeah. Join us on June 5th, or if things fuck up, June 12th. That's all right. It's all good. We're figuring it out. Thank you so much. This is Cohen. If you're listening to this, if you want, if you've listened this far, we do one of these for like every episode, and they're usually they're even short. They're shorter, but they're still
They're
really
way
fun.
shorter.
They're shorter, but you know what it is. We're covering.
Yeah, is
different
our
stuff.
end of the season stuff.
Yeah. If you were hoping for a lot of like detailed information about the Nevermind, the good news is if you join the Patreon, I will be posting a thing later this week, a couple of days after this drops, where I will be detailing my process of like how I designed it and like what it would like. Just stuff we didn't get into here. That tends to be how that goes. If there's stuff that is not covered on the Skull Talkers, I try to, from my perspective, try to cover it there. I'm gonna kick it over now to Jess.
Hello, goodbye. I'm Jess. Thanks for watching the show. I like making it a lot. I hope I can feel less crazy making it in Finland, and it won't affect anything I don't think about recording or editing, and everything should be hunky dory.
Well,
Jess
once
is
you're
doing
settled
great.
in,
Yeah.
everything will warm into a nice goo, just like Visk. And I'm Casey. I guess I'm last. I had to do the alphabet in my head to be like ABC. Oh, J is before K. I'm an idiot.
JK.
All right, got it. I'm Casey Green. Thank you for enjoying our silly adventures in with the world of Doodoo and his friends. Doodoo and Friends, the new title. We're gonna change it up, and then we're gonna Cohen. I'm sorry, you've been let go.
Oh, thank God.
And we're gonna get in. We're gonna get Matthew Mercer in.
Oh, okay. I'm less
Just
happy about
kidding. You still got to.
that. It's okay as long as you don't give it to someone else. You know what I mean? It's my precious prize.
All
My
right, then
perfect
we'll
treat.
we'll stumble through the rest. It's just the three.
Yay!
No. Thank you
Yay.
for joining us on this weird wild thing we're doing. And thank you for listening to season 2. Enjoy season 3 when it comes out. It's gonna be good.
Catch
And
you
if you like
later.
the show,
If you
talk
like
about it
the
with
show-
your friends. Tell your friends about it. Post about it. Make forums posts.
Oh, yeah,
Forums are
God,
alive
we
again,
love-
baby.
Yeah.
Forums are back.
Yay.
We're not on
Discord's
Reddit,
back.
but if you want to tell people on Reddit to listen to this, that is actually a huge help
Yeah,
for
it
us.
actually
Yeah,
is great.
Reddit's weird.
You want to
Reddit's
post
weird,
on our
but it helps.
subreddit?
Do we have a
Uh,
subreddit?
Tweet.
We don't
Tweet
really
and Blue
use
Sky
it.
about
Yeah, make some TikTok animations from the show. Just,
Yeah, because we're
my
banned
God.
from TikTok.
We did get banned from
because
TikTok,
we talk
and they
about
won't
death.
tell me why.
So
I don't know what
It's because
happened.
It's because we have a show about death, and that's evil in their algorithm.
Oh,
like that's
we
literally
should have
it.
had a show about Unalive instead.
I
We should have called
Damn
it,
it.
unalive tenders. Join our Patreon also. You'll get all these episodes and more behind the scenes stuff. One just dropped. You'll get these things more often. These public things for each episode. Public questions and
Yeah.
more. That's patreon.com/skulltenders.
Yeah, we
Please.
solicit questions. We got art. You know what it is at this point. We tell you every time, but there's good stuff.
And don't
All
forget
right.
our store, topatico.com/collections/skulltenders. Just
Yeah,
go to topatico.com and look for Skulltenders. You'll find it.
Or it's in the show notes too. All right.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.